from Houston, Texas, at BBVA Compass Stadium, this is Tiger Football.
As you can see, it is an absolutely gorgeous day for football in Houston, Texas, right here at BBVA Compass Stadium, where the Texas Southern Tigers are getting set to take on the Tigers from Grambling, a matchup full of history and tradition. Hello, everyone. I'm Butch Alcindor. Joining me in the booth, Mr. Lemont Williams. On the sideline, we have Nick Strong. We will get to him in just a few minutes. But first, let's talk about this matchup, because before the season, these two teams were predicted to be last and second to the last in the SWAC.
Well, I tell you one thing, Butch, I was on the field, and these two teams are pumped up. I don't care about the statistics. They're fired up for this matchup tonight.
And the Tigers from Texas Southern come into this one after suffering a heartbreaking loss last week to Arkansas. Pine Bluff came down to the final seconds of the game. Chris Medina had a chance to win it, and his field goal was blocked.
And that's the reason why special teams are special. You need your special teams to step up for a kick like that. Disappointing loss for the Texas Southern Tigers on special teams.
It was very disappointing and frustrating, but they still have something to play for, because the race in the West still alive. The Grambling Tigers come in. As you will take a look at the standings, they are 5-0 in SWAC play. Both teams are 5-3, but Grambling 5-0 and Texas Southern 3-3.
Outstanding job right there for Grambling program to be able to come back and rebuild that program within the year. 5-0 winning streak is an outstanding job.
It sure was. And we have some exciting players to watch in tonight's contest, starting with the quarterback for Texas Southern, Homer Causey, who came back last week from a knee injury, was a little rusty, but overall he played a pretty good game.
And you can see right here his ability to extend the plays and get away from defenders, being able to drop it down to Davion Porter, his favorite target this 2014 season. Texas Southern will need this play here tonight against a 5-0 Grambling State team.
Homer made some big plays last week, passing for 333 yards and 3 touchdowns. He should be a lot sharper coming into play tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, the guy that keeps the train on the tracks for the Grambling Tigers is this guy, Mr. Jonathan Williams.
Jonathan Williams has taken over this program against Prairie View, against Dallas earlier this season. He's a guy that's a true leader, and Coach believes if he's going to take off early in the first half, Grambling been okay on the road tonight.
Not a really big guy, but very, very quick. As you can see, 377 yards passing in his last game with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a guy that you want to lean on that arm. Throwing for 377 yards is an outstanding job for the junior.
I didn't think the game could be more exciting this week than last week, but boy, it looks like we have a shootout in the making. The TSU Tigers getting set to take on the Grambling Tigers. Kickoff is coming up.
When we send an IBW electrician to your job site, I expect my electrical worker to be neat. I expect him to be professional. I expect him to be on time. I expect him to be productive. I expect him to do everything in his power or her power to ensure that employer is successful. Because what's going to get us more work is successful jobs.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
Why did she pack these things? I ate one by accident last time, and we won. It's good luck. But it tastes like a dirty old tree branch. What the heck is quinoa? But this is for first place.
What is that, a loofah?
It's a quinoa.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
And Coach Darryl Asbury and his Tigers from TSU getting set to take on the Grambling Tigers in today's SWAC matchup. Should be a good one as they come into BBVA Compass Stadium today. Grambling, of course, as we said at the top, 5-0 in SWAC play. The TSU Tigers are 3-3. So this is a very important game if TSU wants to jump back and get in that SWAC race.
A way to get back into this game early, set the tempo offensively. Defensively, their secondary needs to step up as well. Giving up so many passing yards last week against Homecoming will be unacceptable against an outstanding passing Grambling.
You know, this Grambling team and coming into this season, last year they had all sorts of controversy because they had the boycott last year. They boycotted the game. Then they came back and they played the next week because of poor conditions, you know, at the facility there. They got all that worked out. They got a new head coach in Broderick Fobbs. He's on, and what a surprise he's turned in this year.
And Butch, it starts with Coach Fobbs. He's a Grambling State alum, two-time player of the two-time state football player and basketball player in there, and he played under legendary coach Eddie Robertson. He learned a lot from Coach Robertson, being able to learn how to coach at McNeese State in the Southland Conference. He was able to come back to his alma mater, rebuild his program, and now they're on a 5-game winning streak.
Well, and the Grambling Tigers will kick it off to TSU to get this one underway. And I tell you what, we have a beautiful day. Couldn't get any nicer than this down on the field. Tigers will get the ball to start this one off. And the kick, and we are underway at BBVA Compass Stadium. It's hauled in by the Tigers right there. It's number 29. I think that's Latevin Wilcox on the return for the Tigers. He is knocked down at about the 24. So the TSU Tigers will start 1st and 10 from that point. We will see Homer Kazi. But let's check out the starting lineup for the Tigers. As I said on the top, Homer Kazi at quarterback. He's had that knee injury, but he looked pretty good last week. The big question was Davion Porter. He had an ankle injury from last week, had ice on it late in the game, but he is back. He's not going to start tonight. He was supposed to be a game-time decision, and as we look in the backfield, there is no Davion Porter, so I guess he's having some trouble with that ankle.
Yeah, Davion Porter is out, as I see on the sideline, him in the no pads on, right there, fumble.
Causey is hit from behind the blind side. The ball is out, and it is a fumble, and it goes to the Grambling Tigers early on in this one.
Wow.
What a way to start this game.
Outstanding job there by Grambling State defense, setting the tone, forcing the turnover. You see Kazi going through his progression, but a big hit from the backside there to force the fumble and the turnover for Grambling State.
Steve Orosaki, who's from Houston, in there with a big hit to give the Tigers a turnover. And talking to Coach Asbury this week, that was an area he was concerned about because the Tigers are not big defensively, but they seem to force a lot of turnovers. And here they are with the ball right at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for quarterback Jonathan Williams. Williams back to pass, looking downfield, has a man open. It's a touchdown right there for the Grambling Tigers. Number 10, Chad Williams for the touchdown for Grambling.
And just like that, Grambling State high-powered offense under junior quarterback Jonathan Williams goes to the receiver in man coverage. Texas Southern secondary has not been up to par the last couple of weeks, and we see that here on this play right now. Instant replay, one-on-one coverage, gave up the inside leverage, touchdown Grambling State.
Trey Walker beat on the play, in for the extra point. Tigers hit it, and the Grambling Tigers have come out to a quick lead in this one. We barely had time to take a break here. The Tigers out in front. They lead the TSU Tigers as we head to break 7-0.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
I hate watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. They can't hear you, Ramsey. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. And he always brings Bud Light. Little dog won't come out from under the couch, But we're winning. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
And welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium. Butch Alcindor with Lemont Williams, and the Grambling Tigers have quickly climbed in front in this one, and they lead Texas Southern 7-0 after the turnover and the touchdown pass.
Well, Butch, I was going to get some popcorn, and before I left, it was a touchdown by Grambling State. Phenomenal job by the Grambling State Tigers to take advantage of the turnover by the fumble by Texas Southern and capitalize on that with the first touchdown of the game.
Roscoe on the kickoff, and Wilcox will try it again from the 5. Cuts it up the middle, and he's upended.
Another
the
fumble.
Ball is loose, and it
goodness.
appears the Grambling Tigers are on the football again. Let's take a look and see what the officials are saying right now. All the Grambling players are saying it's their ball. At this point, we haven't seen anything from the officials yet. Now the TSU players are saying, be calm, everybody. We still got the ball, but the officials are still trying to sort it out down there. They're trying to unpull. What a start to this ball game.
Got my blood pressure up right now in the first quarter. And if you're Coach Ashbury, even though if they get the ball back, you got to tell your guys, you see here in this replay, upended at the end of the play. The ball did come out, so it could be challenged.
We'll see what they have because the ruling on the field is key, and they're going to give it to the TSU Tigers. So the Tigers get a break there. They dodge the bullet because they get to keep that ball, and because there's no replay in the SWAC, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so we go on from
Play
there.
stands. But you can definitely see here, this is the first turnover. Homer Kazi gets hit from the backside. The offensive lineman on the left side has to protect him. But you see Jonathan Williams going one-on-one coverage to his receiver against the SWAC all-conference cornerback, Trey Walker, for the touchdown.
Tigers 1st and 10 from there. Jimmy Patipa banging it off tackle, and he picks up about 4 yards inside. Of course, we just barely had time to touch on it before the turnover, but Jimmy Patipa is starting because Davion Porter sprained his ankle in the last game. Coach said he would be a game-time decision, and obviously he could not go.
And that's a huge loss for Texas Southern. Davion Porter is a very elusive running back. He can beat you inside out. Texas Southern definitely going to miss him tonight.
Causey hands to Patipa again, and this time he is stacked up inside by a couple of Grambling players there. Number 90, the big guy inside making the stop, was Jamison Goins. Big hit right there. So now this is big 3rd down. Been a lot of excitement in this game going on, and now the Tigers have a 3rd and about 6 to keep this drive alive and continue down the field. Homer Causey back to pass. Fires a strike near the sideline, has his man. That is Plummer, and that is a 1st down for Texas Southern. Just a square out. And Causey's pass right on the money to Plummer. That was a huge 1st down because that will allow them to move the sticks, and he just got it in there, but it's a 1st down. TSU working from their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Causey behind center this time. Hands it to Patipa. He has room. Sheds a tackler. Now it's a foot race. He tries to get to the outside, and he's finally pushed out of bounds at about the 30. A big play. Deshaun Morrison pushed him out of bounds.
Huge play there for Patipa. He's had some big shoes to fill today for Davion Porter, but when you're running the ball like this, being able to stiff arm the defenders, but watch he gets to the outside and use that explosive speed for the Texas Southern Tigers, he's going to have to step up huge for the Texas Southern right now, down by 7 points.
That's a big play, and that's something you're right. They want to do whether Davion Porter's in there or not. They want to get that running game going because it complements the pass so well, and that's when they usually have that balance. So this is a good way to answer that score. And after, like I said, they dodged the bullet on the turnover, but the Tigers so far, the TSU Tigers, are taking advantage, moving the ball downfield. 1st and 10 for Homer Causey and the offense. Causey back to pass again. Fires underneath, has his man, and that is Larry Clark with the catch, and he's out of bounds with a short gain.
And the short routes are working for Texas Southern right now. You saw Plummer the third get one early, and now you see the receiver here. It gives Homer Kazi the opportunity to develop some chemistry and rhythm early on in his first quarter. He took that big hit, which fumbled the ball, but he has to find a way to establish the passing game, and those short intermediate routes works for him right now.
Causey hands it to Patipa again. He slips away from another tackle around the left side before he's finally pushed out of bounds right there by Jimmy Patipa with a nice carry right there on the play. L.J. Parker helping to get him out of bounds with a couple of other Grambling Tigers. You see number 44 also giving chase, Henry Taylor. So they got another third down coming up here, Lemont. So again, you know, every time you have third down, it's crucial, but when you're behind, you really want to move those sticks.
And it's important for them to steal momentum back. Right now, Grambling State has momentum, forcing turnovers. Texas Southern has to get the first down.
Causey inside, he keeps it, and he is close to the first down. It looks like he may have picked it up.
Good decision there by Kazi going with the zone read play. He decided to keep it at the last second, was able to pick up the first down. You see in the replay, he fakes the handoff, but at the last second, he decides to keep the ball and picks up the first down. Move those chains for the Texas Southern Tigers.
He's been very effective in that zone read, and that was actually a very good call there to keep the ball and pick up the first down. Tigers 1st and 10 now from about the 24-yard line. Causey from the shotgun, fires complete. He has crossed for another short game. So right now you can see Homer taking what the Grambling Tigers are giving him.
He has no other choice but to take that because they're playing offense receivers. You want to get the ball to your playmakers in space. However, when you throw it into the outside like that, Homer Kazi has to lead his receivers. That last play was a little behind the receiver, even though he got the reception.
Jimmy Patipa, this time he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. A couple of Tigers there to knock him down. Number 91, Donovan McCray, also leading the play for the Grambling Tigers.
And this is a position Texas Southern do not want to be in, 3rd and long or 3rd and 9, because now it forces you to throw the ball. You know, Homer Kazi is a guy, once he gets going and find that chemistry, he's outstanding. Last week he threw for over 300 yards. But in a position like this today against against Grambling State, a team that's coming at you from all sides, it's tough for him to be in this position 3rd and long.
3rd and about 7 for Causey and the Tigers on offense. Takes the snap, looking downfield. Now he breaks inside, and he is caught and taken down by several Grambling Tigers. They're right there putting the pressure. Donovan McCray, one of the guys also in there, number 54 with a fine play. Cooper bringing him down. So, boy, with that Grambling defense stepping up that time on 3rd down, the third down on the drive, and now the TSU Tigers will attempt to kick a field goal. Chris Medina on is going to be a 45-yard attempt. The kick is down, and Medina's boot is no good.
Ouch.
So the TSU Tigers come up empty in their first attempt to put points on the board. Chris Medina missing that one. Of course, time now to take a look at the team uniforms tonight, as always, presented by Russell Athletic. As you can see, the TSU Tigers in the maroon uniforms. Maroon and white, maroon and gray are the colors on the sideline. The Grambling Tigers are in the visiting white as we play here in the first quarter.
Tough drive there. You was able to have some kind of consistency, TSU, but for them to walk away with no point hurts.
Jonathan Williams, and he is caught in the backfield and dropped right there by number 44, Amir Bloom, with a big play for the TSU Tiger. The Miami native getting off the line of scrimmage quickly for the sack in the backfield.
And it's good to see Amir Bloom back on the field. Earlier this season, he suffered some injuries. For him to get his explosiveness back here in this game against Grambling State, Texas Southern's going to need that for him from the first quarter up into the fourth quarter.
Jonathan Williams in the backfield by himself, looking to pass under pressure, and he's taken down again. And we also have a flag on the play. That flag was thrown in that area where you usually see a holding call. So the Tigers coming up, putting all that pressure on Williams early, and that's something they want to do. Coach talked earlier this week about keeping him contained in that pocket so they would be able to, not let him get around the outside and have that run-pass option.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 94. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
That was a face mask call right there against number 94, Derek Lyles, and that really hurts the Tigers. It looks like it was going to go the other way. Lyles got in clean, made the sack, but apparently he got a face mask, hand in someone's face mask.
Yeah, you can see with the swim technique to the inside, his hand brushes against the face mask of the offensive lineman. I mean, the game that we played today, they're going to call that every time.
They have the mark off there, but you could tell the Tigers wanted to make a statement defensively that time. They were in the backfield on 2 consecutive plays.
Oh, no doubt about it. Texas Southern is coming after Jonathan Williams. They're pumped up on the front line. Amir Bloom has set the tone and the tempo for the Texas Southern Tigers defense.
First down and 10 now for Williams and the Grambling Tigers. He's going to throw it again. Chunks one, has a man and cannot hit him over there near the sidelines. That was Anthony McGee. He was open, and it was incomplete on the pass.
Give credit again to Amir Bloom. He was able to disrupt the quarterback passing lane. He was able to get in the backfield. Sometimes you don't always have to get a sack, but when you get in the face of a quarterback, you can throw off his timing too.
Williams back to pass. Hands it inside, and the big running back picks up a short gain. Justin Kelly right there before he's taken down by a host of Tigers. On the play, Brandon Thomas helping out on the tackle.
Well, TSU defense is up now after giving up that first touchdown. You can see the defense swarming to the ball. Guys with great pursuit on the running game coming in and making stops for the defense.
Third down now for the Grambling Tigers. Williams. The ball gets away. The snap is loose. Williams chases it down and falls on it, and that is a huge play right there by the TSU defense. Tigers coming up on third down. Bad snap, and as you can see, he had to chase it down and recover it.
This game called football is about momentums and breaks. Right now, Texas Southern has a huge break on that last play. That fumble helped them to get the fourth down and get the ball back to their offense.
Justin Wheat touched him down right there. There goes the punt, and as Malik cross back, he's not going to handle it, and it's going to be dead right there on the 32-yard line, and that's where the TSU Tigers will start first and 10. You know, one of the things Coach Asbury was talking about this week, he said looking at that Grambling defense, he felt like his offensive line really had a size advantage, and I think that's why we saw so much of Jimmy Petipa on that last drive. They feel like they can really get that push up front and get some yards against these guys.
Yeah, they have one of the biggest lines in the SWAC conference this season. If they get going and find a way to win the battle up front in the trenches, they can be successful. Jimmy Petipa, anybody they put back there in the backfield, Denson, anyone they put in the backfield today will have some success if that offensive line continue to win the battle up front.
Tigers starting from about their own 33. Homikazi back to pass. He lets it go, and there's a little contact there, and here comes the flag. He was trying to hit Carpenter. There was a little contact from number 9. That's L.J. Parker, and I think he's going to be hit with pass interference.
Yeah, L.J. Parker, the senior cornerback, was a little bit too close on the receiver coming out his break. Didn't give him a chance to kind of come out his break and was on top of his shoulder. They called him for pass interference.
And the officials try to sort this out, but it was a clear, he hit him early, so it was definitely pass interference.
Defense, pass interference, number 9. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
You see here just a receiver coming out of his break, the corner right over top of L.J. Parker. You know, got to give him an opportunity to come out of his break. You're going to get flagged for pass interference.
First and 10 for the Tigers after the penalty. Tigers from TSU, that is. Causey back to pass. Has some time. Cranks it deep. Has a man out there, and it is incomplete, but there is another flag down, and there was contact deep on the play. Deshaun Morrison there defending for the Grambling Tigers.
It looks like
Mike Roach, Mike Roach.
It looks like it, but it would be another pass interference on Grambling State.
Defense, pass interference, number 6. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
You know, you keep putting that pressure on them, you make them make a play, and he couldn't really come up with the play there. Homer had a guy, took his shot, and got the penalty instead.
Just the push in the back that got the flag there against Plummer. But you got to, I talked about this game being about momentum and breaks. Texas Southern got a break on defense. Now they got 2 big breaks offensively with these pass interference. They have to produce some points off these breaks. Still the momentum back from Grambling State. You can't help but to take advantage of these pass interference this series.
Mike Roach was guilty of the pass interference on the play, and from what we've seen the last couple of plays, he said, we're going to get these guys on an island, and we're going to test them. Homer just put that one up there, and it was a good chance to take because they got the big penalty. So it's another first down for the TSU Tigers. Homer Causey getting some instructions from Coach Darryl Asbury as they go back to work. Snap, Causey back to pass again, under pressure, drops it off, and he was trying to hit the screen out there to Denson, and he had some running room had he got the pass to him.
Yeah, the play took a while to develop. They want to go with the running back screen to the right-hand side, looked like Denson, but the pressure up the middle from the linebackers from Grambling State forced Causey to throw the ball away early without the play being developed.
Philip McLean putting the big push from inside, made him get rid of that ball a little sooner than he wanted to, and that probably saved the Grambling Tigers a huge game by TSU because he had some room to run. Now it's 2nd and 10. Causey back again in the shotgun formation, looking to pass again. Pressure again. Causey lobs it deep. He has a man, and it is incomplete. He was trying to hit Larry Clark down there near the goal line at about the 3, and Nicholas Peoples comes up with a nice play for the Grambling Tigers.
Outstanding job by Peoples, not getting too close to receivers. You have to understand Grambling State was flagged with 2 pass interference plays prior to that one. Peoples understood that, stayed away from the receiver and made a play, forcing now Texas Southern to have a 3rd down and 10 yards to go for a 1st down.
It's a 3rd down for the Tigers, and last time they had the ball, they had a lot of success on 3rd down. They converted 2 of them, and you'll see if you can kind of get that streak going again here. 3rd and 10. Causey back to pass again. Looking around, running out of time, and he is dropped right there by number 59 for the Grambling Tigers. That is Aaron Breed, the linebacker, putting the heat on Causey.
Aaron Breed gets the credit for the sack, but you got to give the credit to the secondary of Grambling State Tigers. We're able to stay with the receivers. Homer Causey held the ball on too long because no one was open. Grambling State comes up with a huge sack, now forcing another 3 and out for the Texas Southern Tigers.
Corey Carter on the punt for TSU, and he hits it high. It sails deep. Number 1, Anthony McGee chasing, hauls it in, gets away from one tackler. McGee cuts back the other way before he's spun down at about the 20-yard line. So Anthony McGee does a fine job on the return before he's knocked down, and that is where the Grambling Tigers will start, 1st and 10. Well, don't miss the TSU women's volleyball team as they take on Grambling State. That's on November 6th at 7 p.m. at the Health and PE Arena. Tickets are on sale now, so log on to tsuball.com today to get yours to go out and support the TSU women's volleyball team. So after that really exciting start, things have kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah, we all settled down here at BBVA Compass Stadium.
Williams is going to be pulled down. He was looking deep, but he is pulled down again by Derek Lyles. Lyles has had a fine season this year for the Tigers. Actually, inside that was Amir Bloom.
Again, Amir Bloom is the playmaker right now for Texas Southern defense. He's playing a phenomenal. He's doing an outstanding job from the outside in, defensive end spot, coming off being aggressive and using his hands.
Jonathan Williams on the keeper, goes up the middle. A flag is down on the play.
It's gonna be
and
holding.
Amir Bloom seems like someone was holding on to him, and he thinks they made the right call on that one because Amir was down on the ground. But I think it's going to be coming back.
I'll tell you one thing, Butch. If you're going against Amir Bloom, and he's been outstanding and aggressive here in the first quarter, if I'm Anthony Cherry, the lineman, number 75, sometimes you're going to have to hold on for a little bit because right now he's off to a fast start.
Holding on the offense, number 75. 10 yards, replay, 2nd down.
TSU Tigers getting a lot of pressure in this game already. We're early, and they have 3 sacks.
It starts with Amir Bloom. He's the playmaker. He's their go-to guy. He wants to break the sack record this season. He told me during the Texas Southern Media Day earlier this year, and right now he's off to a fast start. Again, he had some injuries early on this season, was able to come back, but I like to see the fact that he got his explosiveness back in his legs.
Williams in the backfield by himself. Shotgun, throws one up, lobs it over for a man, and he has him. That's Chad Williams.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's out of bounds for the first down.
How can you give up a big play, from the secondary standpoint when you got defensive linemen like Amir Bloom bringing pressure up front? You see here Jonathan Williams standing tall in the pocket, take a big shot right there by the linebacker. But the secondary, again, has been inconsistent the last couple of weeks, giving up a huge play and giving Grambling State another first down.
Williams did a good job waiting until the last minute. He waited until he cleared. He was covered early on in the route, but then he hit him right there at the end for the first down. Williams with a pitch. This time it goes to 11. He comes around the right side, and he is spun down. That is Kajandre Domino, and knocked down for a big loss by the Tigers.
Good job there by the secondary. You see number 3 comes in your screen right there. That's great closing speed right there, Butch. Coming downhill, reckless bandit. And number 3, Brandon Thomas, the senior.
Williams on 2nd down and 13. Pass is complete right there, and it's in there to Domino again, and he is set down by a couple of Tigers. Michael Holmes over there helping out on that tackle. And here comes a flag. We'll see what we got. Maybe it's some excessive celebration.
Good closing speed there by Michael Holmes. Outstanding open field tackle. I think right there at the last second, throwing them down, Butch, forces the flag.
What a big play, though. You want to see these guys be aggressive and get up there and make that hit in a hurry, and that's exactly what Michael Holmes did. Coach Asbury down there talking to the officials, trying to figure out what's going on.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit, number 23 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
But you have to understand the backdrop of what's taking place right here on the field now. In the pregame, right when teams was coming out and warming up, there was a lot of chattering going on between the two teams. Coaches was getting into it, defensive coordinators were getting into it, and players was also getting into it, and it's starting to spill over into the game. If you're Texas Southern, you got to control your emotions and try to find a way to get back into this game at home.
Grambling in white, but from the shotgun, Williams has a man. It is complete. He's spinning around right there is Chester Rogers with a big gain, and he's got another first down for the Grambling Tigers.
The difference between Grambling State and Texas Southern right now, Butch, is they're taking advantage of their breaks. You see Grambling State, after that penalty, was able to move the ball down the field with that pass play.
That was Chester's 35th reception on the year. Williams again throws underneath this time, and he has his man. It's the running back on the play, and Jawan Martin is taken down right there after a short gain.
It looks like Grambling State wants to pick up the tempo offensively, try to catch Texas Southern off guard defensively, and it's working so far.
Williams going to throw it again, this time under pressure. Scrambles up the middle, breaks it back to the right, picks up a convoy. Williams is knocked out of bounds right there after a nice gain.
Outstanding play there by Jonathan Williams. The junior quarterback was able to escape the pressure from the backside. You see in this play here, but watch the speed, Butch. Get back out there in front of his blockers to pick up the first down.
Trey Walker giving him the shove out of bounds, but it's another first down for the Grambling Tigers. This time they have the ball at about the 23-yard line as Williams looking to call his signals. In the backfield, Jawan Martin. Martin has the football, takes it off tackle, and it's going to be a big gain, but there's another flag and the ball is loose. And the Tigers have recovered the football. It's Trey Walker with the fumble. There's also a flag on the play, so we have a lot to sort out on this call. Tigers say they have the football. As I said, there's also a penalty flag that went down right as Martin made the big run.
Again, this game is about momentum and breaks. If Texas Southern is able to get a huge break on this fumble recovery, it would breathe life back into this football team in this first quarter.
Holding on the offense, number 74. That penalty is declined. First and 10 for Texas Southern.
So it was a fumble. Tigers forcing the turnover, a big play by TSU coming up with the fumble. Now they have the football, and we go to break with the TSU Tigers trailing in this one to the Grambling Tigers 7-0.
I'm Percy Crusoe. If you haven't been to French's Chicken, or if it's been a while since your last visit, no place does chicken like Frenchie's. Our chicken is seasonized with our blend of Creole herbs and spices. Our side dishes include the tastiest greens and red beans and rice you'll ever put in your mouth. Try our new King Roll rotisserie chicken at our Scott Street location. Come on by French's Chicken, where the taste lasts forever.
Who make the right moves, a rocket moving. You need to call the people who always do it right and work hard day and night to make the right moves. You need people who care, people who make the right moves, a rocket moving.
The environment is my passion. Every day I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
It's been a game of turnovers so far. Jawan Martin on the carry for the Grambling Tigers. He is hit by Michael Holmes, tries for the extra yardage. The ball comes out, and Trey Walker is there to make the recovery for the TSU Tigers.
Huge break there for Texas Southern. They give the ball back to the offense with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. They got to find a way to capitalize on this break, move the ball down the field, and produce a touchdown.
This would be a good opportunity to get that running game going. You got the ball at about your own four-yard line. Tigers will start 1st and 10 from there. The Grambling Tigers, that is. Homer Causey behind center. Turns and he hands it right up the middle, and not much room there at all for Jimmy Patipa.
It looks like Homer turned the wrong way when he came from underneath the center. As we can see in this replay here, Homer just seems like he came out from underneath the center the wrong way. Still was able to get the handoff off, but good stop there by the defensive line of Grambling State. Big Donovan McCray in there to bring him down. He slowed him up just long enough. He had a little crease, just couldn't quite get through it. So the Tigers will come out 2nd and about 11. Causey behind center. Hands it to Patipa again, and he cuts it right back up the middle, and he's stacked up by a host of Grambling Tigers on the play. Now Texas Southern is put back in the same position, 3rd and medium and 3rd to long situation. How are you going to attack this if you're Coach Asbury? You got to find a way to spread the ball out, give it to your playmakers. Without Davion Porter, they have a little respect from the running back position today. How conservative do you get right here deep in your own territory? You can't be too conservative. I mean, you got to find a way to not hold on to the ball. I mean, Homer Causey has been sacked from the backside already, which led to a touchdown. Tigers with a big 3rd down and about 8. Causey behind center. Goes back to pass in his end zone, fires it out. He has a man, and he overthrew him near the sideline. Fred Plummer was the intended receiver on the play. It's an incomplete pass, so the TSU Tigers will have to punt the football from their end zone. And Homer Causey never had a chance to really get settled on that last play. Fred Plummer III, you know, the ball sailed right over his head. Homer just dropped back and just threw it up in the air like he was throwing up an alley-oop, but it didn't work out for Texas Southern. They got the fumble, but again, Butch, it comes back to breaks and momentum, and right now Texas Southern's not taking advantage of any breaks they get in this first quarter. Corey Carter back to punt out of his own end zone, and he gets it off. Didn't really get a lot of height on that punt. McGee makes it, hauls it in around the right side, and he's still on his feet. McGee shakes it. He's trying to break it to the outside, and finally, Michael Holmes pulled him down, or we would have been looking at a touchdown on that punt return. Great hustle by Michael Holmes. Outstanding job there by the kickoff returner. McGee gets away from a few Texas Southern defenders right there, but watch this play. He spun around, is able to get back and have great balance there to pick up some more positive yards for Grambling State.
Anthony McGee has quick feet on the play, and he made a big, big return there. So the Grambling Tigers are right back on the TSU end. This time it's Williams on the keeper on the zone read, keeps the football, and he has a first down with about 13 yards on the pickoff. Big play for Williams.
Jonathan Williams is the guy that comes in this game with a big arm, throwing for over 377 yards last week. However, he's a dual threat here in this first quarter for Grambling State, able to get away from Texas Southern defenders to get in the red zone.
Williams is also their leading rusher on the season, and you got just a little taste of why there. This time he takes it, hands it up the middle right there, and we have a flag down on the play. It's Cedric Skinner for a short gain, but as I said, there is a penalty flag down, and now another flag goes down. So we're seeing a lot of laundry out on that field early in this ball game, and we're still in the first quarter.
A lot of penalties from both teams early in this first quarter. Again, it goes back to what I noticed in the pregame. A lot of guys jarring back at each other from the coaching staff to players. It's starting to spill over here in this first quarter. Both teams need to find a way to settle down their emotions and get back to playing some really good football.
There are two flags on the play, so they're going to have to sort it out, and let's see. At this point, it's hard to tell who it's against. You got TSU's hoping that goes against Grambling, because if not, they are very, very down in the red zone.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5 men in the backfield. That's 5 yards. After the play, personal foul on the defense, number 29. Half the distance to the goal, replay, first down.
So you had the legal formation, and then you had the personal foul right there that really hurts. He said number 29, I think that's Tevin Wilcox.
Yeah, the last penalty there, the personal foul hurts not just Texas Southern, but it puts their defense in a tough position now. They're back against the wall, down 7 points. You can't have those type of plays here in this game. This is a big-time game for Texas Southern. You can't give up those type of penalties.
Williams and the Grambling Tigers have the football. 1st and 10 from about the 8. Williams with the fake, keeps it, rolling left, fires into the end zone, and it is a touchdown. A big play right there by Williams. And it is complete to Edward Canto.
And Butch, it goes right back. What?
Number 81 on the play for the touchdown. Williams with the touchdown pass.
You see Williams just rolling out to the left here. He just looking to the secondary. Was able to find his receiver wide open in the back of the end zone. I talked about breaks and momentum. Right now, Grambling State controlled this game by taking advantage of all the breaks they're getting from the penalties, and they stole the momentum from Texas Southern early now with 14 points.
Orozco adds the extra point. The touchdown goes to Cutno, and the Grambling Tigers are out in front, 14-0 over Texas Southern with 1:55 to go in the quarter. And don't forget, you can catch the TSU football replay in HD after every home game on Tuesdays at noon. It's only on CSN Houston, the home of Tiger football. So Grambling off to a quick start in this one, and I know that's one of the things the TSU Tigers were trying to improve on. They wanted to start the game more quickly. They were having trouble getting into the flow of the game early.
Well, Texas Southern team is not built on coming from behind, especially large leads. They're a team that wants to establish the lead and establish their tempo and their offensive game plan. Early on this first quarter, they have given up some big turnovers. One that early in the game, first quarter, which led to the first touchdown. And that one, after that penalty, that personal foul, kind of stole their momentum and their confidence and played right in the hand for Jonathan Williams in that passing game as they earned their second touchdown here on the road at BBVA Compass Stadium.
Well, they're at home, but they're going to have to get some points on the board quickly as Orozco kicks it off. Back to return, Tevin Wilcox. He drops the football, and it will be down right there. He dropped the football when he went to pick it up. His knee touched, and that's where the Tigers will start, 1st and 10.
And Butch, as I look on the sideline right now, the special team coach from Texas Southern is very upset because you just see so many drop plays, but right here in this replay, the scoring drive, 3 plays for 24 yards.
It started with the punt return, the big punt return to set everything up.
Then you see Jonathan Williams here showing his dual threat ability on that scoring drive as well.
3 plays, 24 yards, and then the touchdown pass to Cutno in the end zone. That Williams looks pretty comfortable back there at quarterback right now. Tigers are back in another hole. 1st and 10 for Homer Causey and the offense, starting at about their 7-yard line. Causey going to keep it right up the middle, and he's taken down at about the 12.
And this is going into the 3rd series offensively for Texas Southern. It needs to have some kind of sense of urgency. You see Homer Causey in the shotgun position. He decides early and often that he wants to take off and run and pick up some positive yards for this offense.
Henry Taylor there for the stop for the Grambling Tigers, so it's going to be 2nd and about 5 for TSU after that run by Causey. Causey going to throw it again, has a man. That's Plummer inside, and it is complete. And he's close to the first down, might be just a little short. No, they're moving the sticks. 1st down for the TSU Tigers.
And that's a good play call there for Texas Southern. The first play I've seen so far in this first quarter with the receivers coming across the middle. The middle has been wide open from the secondary of Grambling State all first quarter. Great job there by Homer Causey taking advantage of that situation.
That was catch number 24 on the year for Fred Plummer, and it got a 1st down for TSU. Jimmy Patipa on the handoff, and what about that burst? Right up the middle, and boy, he just a big gain as L.J. Parker hauled him down, but boy, that TSU was looking for that.
Patipa is looking like Davion Porter on that last play. Explosiveness up the middle, right down Broadway, helping Texas Southern kind of find a way to get going here late in this first quarter.
You know, you never know what someone's going to do until they get their shot. Porter injured the ankle last week, but Patipa to this point has been pretty quiet so far this season, and today he's getting a chance to show what he can do. Tigers with a big 1st down. Causey back to pass again, fires one. He has Larry Clark open. That's a gain of 7.
You got to like what you see out of Texas Southern offense right now. Homer Causey is trying to find a way to dig his team out of this 14-point hole, going right to the outside to his receiver. It's all about timing and rhythm with Texas Southern offense, and Homer Causey is the guy that can get it done for them if he finds that timing and rhythm.
Tyree Hollins knocked him down on the play. It's going to be 2nd and about 4. Handoff goes inside, and there's not much room there at all. Grambling coming up with a fine defensive play inside. Patipa with a short gain. And we are now at the end of the first quarter, and the TSU Tigers find themselves in a 14-0 hold to the Grambling Tigers in a game that's been full of turnovers and a lot of action to this point. We'll be back after this break.
Hello, I'm Alan Helfman, Vice President of River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. This is my friend and customer, Miss Georgia Provost. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Chrysler 300. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ellen is the only car dealer I will ever buy a car from.
Come see us at Kirby and the Southwest Freeway.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell. You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew it.
It's true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg. I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
You are watching Texas Southern football here at BBVA Compass Stadium, and the Texas Southern Tigers are trailing the Grambling Tigers 14-0 as we start the second quarter. Around the SWAC, you can see Arkansas Pine Bluff won for the second consecutive week, 24-14, and it's Alabama State leading Southern, the Tigers from TSU's next opponent, 7-0 in the first. But how about that Arkansas Pine Bluff? So they got the win here last week. It gave them some confidence for this week, obviously.
Yeah, they see the fact that Arkansas Pine Bluff is trying to build some kind of momentum late in this season. It's an outstanding job for them as well for the conference.
Okay, Tigers coming up 3rd and 5 for Homer Causey and the troops. Causey from the shotgun, looking around. Now he's under pressure, scrambles out to his left, and Causey still on his feet, getting out of bounds, diving for the first down. A big play by the quarterback, trying to get to the sticks and pick up that first down.
And Butch, I love what I see from Homer Causey. He's putting the Texas Southern Tigers on his back right now in this series, throwing the ball, but running the ball as well. His dual threat ability, you can tell that he's 100% now. That knee is feeling a lot better as he gets away from the defenders and pick up the first down.
Henry Taylor finally got him out of bounds. The junior from Baton Rouge, of course, with a big play there, but it's a first down for TSU. Patipa on the carry again, trying to get wide, breaks the tackle, cuts it inside, and it's going to be a short gain. Nicholas Peoples came up in a hurry from the secondary to knock him down.
Grambling State defensively is still fighting, and they're still pursuing the ball and running from sideline to sideline. I like what I saw in that last play, defensive lineman getting off blocks and hustling down and making the stop.
We're early in the second quarter, but this is a big drive. I'm sure Coach Asbury would love to put some points on the board here. You know, earlier this week he told me he likes this team's makeup and their character, and they're being tested right here. Homer back to pass, pumps it, then he lets it go, floats it deep, and it is incomplete. He was trying to hit Larry Clark on the play.
You got to find a way to find some kind of establishment here early in the second quarter. You give the first quarter Grambling State. They dominated that quarter early on, setting the tempo and finding a way to score right before the end. But Texas Southern has a way to if they can get back into this, Butch, and find a way to steal this second quarter early, you know, the momentum can swing back their way, and hopefully they can get some much-needed confidence.
If they get points on this drive, they are right back in the game, and they are very much aware of that. Homer Causey calling out the signals now. 3rd down again. Goes back to pass. Under pressure again, and Causey gets the football off. There's a flag down, though. He was pressured. He got the football off right as he was being sacked. We'll see what the flag is from the official.
Might be intentional grounding on Homer Causey.
Steve Orisaki came on to make the sack right there for the Grambling Tigers. Steve is from Houston, by the way, so in there making a big play in his hometown.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 4. Spot foul, the penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Causey was hit with intentional grounding the football, and so it's going to be 4th down for the TSU Tigers.
Here come the pressure from the Grambling State Tigers. Linebackers, the defensive front, was able to get Homer Causey offset there, force him to throw the ball. That's why the intentional grounding took place. He had to get the ball out of his hands. Unfortunately, nobody was there on the opposite side for Texas Southern to be in the spot, or you got to be least close by the ball, and they called him for intentional grounding.
Corey Carter back on the field for the TSU Tigers. This guy is one of the best punters in the SWAC, if not the best. Getting set to punt the football away. And I tell you what, another turnover at this point would be pretty nice for TSU.
Oh, no doubt about that. They definitely need a turnover here. But if you're Grambling State, I mean, a huge return right here would kind of just really crush the confidence of Texas Southern special teams.
The officials are still meeting right there at about the 42-yard line. They're discussing things. And, you know, coming into this game, you could pretty much say that these are the two Cinderella stories when you talk about Grambling and Texas Southern, because Grambling was predicted last off of that 1-11 season, and then TSU went 2-9, so they were predicted to be second to the last. So just the seasons that both these two teams have had has been fantastic to this point.
You have to give credit to both head coaches. I mean, Texas Southern had a chance to have a full off-season this summer, was able to gel and build some continuity in the program. Guys was able to stay on campus and learn how to be true Texas Southern players. In Grambling State, you know, you have a team that a couple of years ago, players were just complaining about facilities. Now you have players buying into a new system, new program. Both head coaches done an outstanding job rebuilding this program early here in the SWAC conference.
And that's Coach Byron Broderick Fobbs on the field right there talking to the officials, trying to find out exactly what's going on. But you just touched on it. He came over, he took over that Grambling program, lost his first 3 games of the year, and then they ran off quite a little streak.
Yeah, Fobbs was able to take over coming from McNeese State. He's a Grambling State alum, played under the legendary coach Eddie Robertson. I talked to him before the game. He said one thing about his team, they had played with a lot of passion and heart. If things turned around for them when they found Jonathan Williams on the bench against Prairie View in the Dallas Classic, he was able to take over the car of Grambling State. Right now, he controls his car and has the keys.
Went to McNeese State. That's my old school.
Yeah.
He was the co-offensive coordinator there. Remember him well, did a fine job there, and now he's doing a great job with the Grambling Tigers. But let's see, these guys were, I guess they should have packed a lunch for that meeting because it was like a lunch meeting. Corey Carter is saying, hey, what's going on? Let's see. And again, a big mark off here. Now they have to explain to Coach Asbury what they just explained to Coach Fobbs.
What a great, first half. I mean, it's been very entertaining. So far, both teams have come out and played hard.
On the play, that was intentional grounding. The penalty was declined. The play go back to the previous spot, but it includes a loss of down, 4th down.
So now Corey Carter will come on to punt it for the TSU Tigers. Good snap. Good hit. End over end punt coming down, and McGee makes the fair catch, drop the football. There's a scramble for it, and TSU may have come up with the football. How about that? He had that end over end punt, which is kind of hard to handle sometimes. It goes right to Anthony McGee. He bobbled it, and the Tigers say they have the football.
Waiting on the official call from the officials, but we talked about how, both of these teams have gotten their breaks. If this ball ends up being Texas Southern, it's a huge break for them right now.
And it says it is Tigers football. That's the break they were looking for. I see Michael Holmes down underneath the pile, but let's take another look at it. Corey Carter, he gets that punt. It goes end over end, and like I said, not the easiest one to handle.
No, not at all. But when you take your eye off the ball for a split second, it makes it very hard when you have defenders around you. Great job there by Texas Southern special teams to hustle down the field and get that fumble and give it back to their offense.
They're taking a look at Michael Holmes. He's down there at the bottom of the pile, but I think he's okay. I think he was just hanging on to that football.
Oh, man, it's tough being at the bottom of the pile. Being a former college football player, I know a lot of things take place under those piles, and Michael Holmes, the senior out of Houston, Texas, was able to come up big for the Tigers.
So the officials are going to mark it right there. What a big play, though. They needed a turnover to really set them up, and you can't ask for a better field position than they're in right now, starting 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line.
I'll tell you one thing, Butch, Texas Southern has to produce some points here. You're in the red zone. You can't ask for any better position to be in right now. You have 4 downs in red zone, and you're trying to find a way to score. You got to find some points here in this series.
Homer Kazi comes out. He has Kendall Denson in the backfield, and the officials stop it again. Now we're on the way. Tigers, 1st and 10 from about the 12. Kazi with the ball, back to pass. Fires over the middle, has a man for the touchdown, and he dropped it. Had Billy Rosenberg, looked like he had made a great catch in there, and the ball came out when he hit the ground. But Kazi tried to squeeze it in there to Rosenberg. He got his hands on it and almost pulled it in for the touchdown.
Rosenberg, the 6'5" tight end, was able to come across the middle. You see him man coverage, had his hands on it, but couldn't break it into the body for the touchdown. You see Homer just finds his big target across the middle. Great shot there by the cameraman. We see on the backside, incomplete pass.
That would have been a tough catch. Tigers now 2nd and 10. Homer with the pitch to Denson, and the whistle blows, and there's another flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start, 74, offense. 5 yards, remain, second down.
So it's another penalty against the TSU Tigers. Kendrick Williams, I think, is the guilty party there, and that'll set them back just a little bit. So now it's going to make it second and about 15. Not the time you want to go backwards at that point. Tigers knocking on the door, looking to push that touchdown across if they can. Second down. Causey back to pass again. Fires, and it's in the corner. Intended for cross, and it is incomplete right near the goal line.
Good job from the pressure from the front, from the backside for Grambling State. Was able to hit Causey, knock him off his spot, which made the pass come up very short there for the receiver.
You know, they can still get a first down around the 2-yard line. So, you know, they got that scenario working here, but it's third down. And I know Coach Asbury does not want to leave this end of the field without getting some points. Causey again working out of the gun, and the whistle blows, and there's another flag down again. Tigers are pointing. They say it's against the Grambling Tigers.
Prior to the snap, false start, 1 of the offense. 5 yards, remain, third down.
That time it was Fred Plummer.
Ouch, that hurts. 2 false starts in the same series is a no-no for any team. And for the Texas Southern Tigers to be home here, down 14 points, trying to find a way to build some momentum and get back into this game. They had a great position and great situation set up there. 2 flags against the offense, now pushing us back to make it 3rd and 20 yards to go.
Causey back to pass again. Had time, but now he doesn't. I mean, he ran out of time as the Grambling Tigers take him down. A big play right there. It's number 90 helping out Jamison Goins on the play.
Goins and company was able to come out to Causey because they knew he was going to throw the ball. I mean, Causey's down 3rd and 20. The defensive linemen and the linebackers, they're looking at each other and say, meet me at the quarterback, and that's exactly what they did against Homer Causey, coming at him fast and furious and just coming at him quick from all angles. Causey didn't ever have a chance to get settled.
The penalty has set TSU up in a really, really bad position now because you may be out of field goal range, so you're probably going to have to go for it.
Timeout, TSU.
And the Tigers are going to take a timeout to talk about it, and that's one of the things that, you know, 3-4 penalties on that drive, and it backs you all the way up till now you're out of field goal. It's going to be a tough thing. So Coach Asbury and the team, they're going to talk about it, decide what they're going to do, and we will see when we come back with the Grambling Tigers leading TSU 14-0.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Coach Darrell Asbury and his TSU Tigers looking at a 4th and forever as we went to break, and it looks like they're going to go for it as they come back on with the offense. Homer Kazi, so far the passing game has not been clicking. He only 5 of 8 for 27 yards, but this is a big down right here. Causey back to pass. Looking deep. Fires, has a man, and it's going to be a touchdown. Larry Clark in the end zone. How about that one?
Well, Butch, it was set up that way. If you ask Coach Asbury, I mean, having 2 penalties to push the offense backwards, then you had the sack. But Homer Kazi, the young man with so much confidence in his arm, was able to find a receiver wide open.
Best thing about that, he gave his guy a shot at it.
Yeah, no question.
He knew it was 4th and forever. He got that ball up there. He said, I'm going to give my guy a chance to get it. Clark made a nice catch, falling into the end zone for the touchdown.
And you know what's the best part, Butch, is the fact that Texas Southern now is back into this game. I mean, they scored a touchdown. They're up now 7 points. I mean, they end back into this game with 7 points.
Chris Medina adds the extra point, and the TSU Tigers, just like that, after several penalties, pushed them back. They had a huge first down, and they took their shot downfield, and it paid off. But that man, Larry Clark, making a nice catch. You know, he had been injured for a little bit, and they really missed him being in the lineup making catches like that. And speaking of catching, you can catch every home game live via our web stream at tsuball.com/live. That's tsuball.com, your #1 source for Tiger football. We have ourselves a brand new game here. Homer Kazi, that's going to do a lot for his confidence also.
Yeah, we know he can light it up. He threw for over 300 yards last week on the homecoming. He just hasn't found enough time to get situated and settle in that pocket. He had enough time on that last play to be able to survey the secondary, and he found his receiver on the left side for the touchdown, for the Texas Southern touchdown.
So they took the turnover and they turned it into points. So that's got to be huge for the Tigers here, and maybe it'll give their defense a big lift.
Well, the defense is playing solid so far in this first half. Amar Bloom was able to bring pressure. Right now, the quarterback has been sacked. Jonathan Williams has been sacked twice in this first half. So defensively, in the front 7 has been bringing pressure.
Medina's kick goes deep, and it's hauled in right there by McGee. He starts around the left side. Actually, that is Kajandre Domino before being knocked out of bounds. Hit hard right there, a big hit, as number 11 Domino was banged out of bounds. Number 9, Darvian Trahan with a big hit there.
Scoring drive there for Texas Southern, 6 plays for 12 yards. That was huge for them. Butch right there getting that turnover.
6 plays and 12 yards on the books, but it was a lot more than that. A lot more than that. The touchdown pass goes to Larry Clark from Homer Kazi. A great pass into the corner of the end zone, and the Tigers are on the board. So now the other Tigers, the Grambling Tigers, will try it. 1st and 10 from about the 37-yard line. Jonathan Williams, he's going to throw it. Looking down, rolling out to his right now. Still looking, pulls it down, and he's going to step out of bounds after a gain of about 4 yards. So you could tell the Grambling Tigers, last time they had the football, they did try to pick up the pace a little bit, try to get to the line of scrimmage quicker and get that, get the snap off a lot quicker.
If they wanted to change it up early against Texas Southern, want to find a way to kind of offset them defensively. I talked about Texas Southern front 7, bringing pressure with Amir Bloom. Coach switches up for Grambling State, want to go with an up-tempo pace to kind of throw off the defense.
Williams looking to throw it again. Fades over and makes a great back shoulder throw right there to Anthony McGee, number 1. That was a good play. He kind of just faded out a little bit to his right. He had McGee all the way. He stuck with him.
Smooth catch there by McGee, the junior out of Dallas, Texas. Look at the feet work right there. Butch was able to catch the ball, but understand his balance and know where he's at all times on the field. You see him catch the pass and keep his feet in bounds for the first down.
Justin Kelly, number 28 on the carry. He takes it up the middle for a short gain. About 3 yards right there for the Grambling Tigers. They go quickly to the line of scrimmage again. Williams with a quick pass inside, and it might have been deflected right there by number 33, Jarius Moore getting his hand on it. A big play by Jarius Moore. It's going to force the Grambling Tigers into a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, huge play there by Moore, the junior out of North Shore High School, a local product here. You like to see local guys stay home and play for Texas Southern, where Moore did a good job on that last play for the Texas Southern defense.
A whistle and a flag again. So these officials have been busy.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 8. 5 yards, remain 3rd down.
Dominic Leake, the receiver, is the guilty party there. So you're going to back up the Grambling Tigers 5 after the false start. That's the second receiver that's jumped now. That's kind of unheard of, right? A receiver jumping. You're supposed to keep your eye on that ball and not move until the ball moves.
Hey, it's a fast-paced game. Guys want to try to find the edge against each other. If you get a fast start, you never know. You can be wide open like we saw on that last play for Texas Southern for a touchdown.
Williams back to pass on 3rd down, has some time, fires over the middle. It is incomplete, but a flag goes down. And it looks like Dondre Dobbins was there for the coverage, but he might also be guilty of pass interference on the play.
Yeah, Dobbins, a freshman, made a freshman mistake there, closing in on a receiver as he was coming across in his post route. Looks like the flag is going against Texas Southern. Well, it looks like the ball is going backwards now. Hold on now.
Defensive, pass interference, number 25. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
Williams got rid of that football so quickly. I mean, he got it in there, and he barely had time to react.
Well, this kid has a rifle for an arm. You see him just comes out and give Grambling State offensive line some credit right now for picking up the blocks and slowing down the pressure.
Williams completes the pass out. Again, he has his man, Anthony McGee. He picks up another nice gain. LaTevin Wilcox escorted him out of bounds over there. And as you can see, a lot of shouting going on down there.
Trey Walker and company. Trey comes into this season with a lot of, accolades, all SWAC corner. But right now, he's losing his cool as his teammates are trying to calm him down. Again, Butch, it goes back to what I saw early in the game. I mean, pregame, guys jarring at each other, coaches jarring at each other. It's spilling over in the second quarter. A lot was taking place in the first quarter. If you're Coach Asbury, you got to find a way to keep your guys mentally prepared and focused throughout this game.
So the Grambling Tigers and it was Trey Walker guilty of the personal foul on the play, so that's going to really hurt. That's going to escort them deep into TSU territory. It's like you were saying, no matter what happens, you have to find a way to keep your cool on the field and keep that discipline going. Williams hands it inside, and a big push up front by the Tigers. It's Justin Kelly before he's finally hauled down. Arthur Rye inside with the tackle. Kelly 5'11", 233, so he's not that tall, but he's a load.
And Grambling State wants to establish the running game in the inside now, the fact that they're in the red zone.
Williams on the snap, pitches it on the come around, on the reverse to Chad Williams, and he is in for the touchdown. Nice pitch from Williams right there to Chad Williams.
You see Chad Williams here, the 6'3" sophomore. That play right there was set up with a quick pitch from Jonathan Williams. Didn't give Texas Southern defense a chance to establish himself. No way, no how, because Grambling State found a way to get into the end zone, taking advantage of some breaks there on that offensive drive. Now up 21-7.
Orozco on for the extra point, and it is good. Williams had a convoy escorting him into the end zone on that touchdown. And as you can see, some of the Grambling faithful have a little bit to cheer about right now as we head to break. They are leading 21-7 over Texas Southern.
When we send an IBW electrician to your job site, I expect my electrical worker to be neat. I expect him to be professional. I expect him to be on time. I expect him to be productive. I expect him to do everything in his power or her power to ensure that employer is successful. Because what's going to get us more work is successful jobs.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
And it is a beautiful night here in Houston, Texas tonight, but at BBVA Compass Stadium, it's the Grambling Tigers leading the Texas Southern Tigers 21-7. For a report, let's go down to the sideline to Nick Strong.
Yeah, guys, a lot to talk about here on the sideline. It's a big game out here and a lot of trash talking. The Grambling Tigers are up 21-7, but however, on the sidelines, the defensive coordinator is getting it to the guys. He's saying have a sense of urgency. The guys have to have a sense of urgency on the defense side of the ball, but on the offense, you got to look at Homer Causey. He's really getting his guys together on the sideline. And again, just like last week, he's saying, guys, we don't want to lose this game. If the Tigers want to go to the SWAC championship, that's Grambling that is, they have to come to the TSU Tigers. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Nick. That's LaTevin Wilcox on the kickoff return, and he makes a nice return all the way over the 30-yard line for the TSU Tigers. And that's that's an important point at this point of the game, 10:20 to go in the second quarter. Have a sense of urgency. Get it done now. So the Tigers are obviously stressing the right things on the sideline.
And not just that, Butch, having a sense of urgency. Let's play disciplined Texas Southern football. Stop all the penalties. Stop all the jarring. You want to get back to start playing disciplined football, then your play will speak for itself. You got to get away from the jarring. And right now it's playing in the favor for Grambling State because they lead in this game 21-7.
Empty backfield for Homer Causey as he goes back to pass. Two wide receivers to the left. Causey looking that way, still looking that way, fires it deep, and he has Larry Clark. And Larry Clark makes another diving catch. Well, he got his hands on that one and hauled it in for a huge gain.
Outstanding job there by Larry Clark III. He's on fire right now in the second quarter. Man-to-man coverage. Homer Causey found a new target here in the first half of Texas Southern. I like that pitch and catch. Move those chains, Texas Southern Tigers.
Larry Clark with a great catch, the sophomore from Baton Rouge. He goes about 6 feet tall, but I tell you what, he stretched a lot longer than that on that play. A great catch. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Homer Causey back to pass again. Under pressure, the blitz is on, and they got him. They took him down right there. It's number 54 for Grambling. Cooper getting back into the backfield for a big, big play for the sack on Homer Causey.
The sophomore linebacker comes unblocked. You see right down Broadway. Homer Causey never had a chance to get his feet settled. Goes down for the sack.
Arkens Cooper back there in a hurry to make the stop. So that's going to be a big loss, and the Tigers are going to be looking at a 2nd and almost 20. Homer Causey again operating out of the empty backfield for a while, and there's Cross looking for a screen pass to Cross, and that play just had blow up on it from the very beginning. It just wasn't going to work.
Well, Grambling State sniffed that play out early and often on that last play. You can tell the pressure was coming up, but the secondary was staying home looking for any screens, and they was Texas Southern was trying to establish a running back screen on the right side.
Donovan McCray smelled it out for the Grambling Tigers, and so now TSU is looking at another 3rd and long situation.
You can't give up on the offense. Last time we thought that they was hurt offensively by going backwards. They ended up producing a touchdown. So you can't give up on Homer Causey and that strong arm.
Causey looking again, back to pass, under pressure, fires over the middle, and he had a man. He had Fred Plummer coming across the middle, and he is open, but right now Causey is down. He took a tough shot in there. It was Cooper again on the blitz, and he nailed it.
Yeah, Cooper took a nice shot there on Homer Causey, which hurt him throwing the ball.
Tigers are going to have to do something to seal up that blitz inside because Cooper got free 2 consecutive plays. That brings Corey Carter on for another punt tonight. Carter gets a good snap, gets the ball away, And McGee calls for the fair catch at about his 11. So that is where the Grambling Tigers will start. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Better job there by McGee. He was able to keep his eyes on the ball. You remember last time he took his eyes off the ball, it was a fumble, was Texas Southern was able to capitalize on that. But Grambling State coaching staff got to be happy with McGee on that last play. Kept his eyes on the ball, followed through on that punt return.
You know, for TSU, Jimmy Patipa doing a good job tonight. He has 8 carries, 62 yards, but you can't understate how much the Tigers are going to miss a guy like Davion Porter, because he's been their horse in the backfield, you know, all season long. Last week he had 187 yards rushing before he got hurt.
And he's a guy that can beat you inside, outside. He has the speed to take it the distance as well.
Williams on the keeper, loses the football, and it was scooped up by the Tigers. Now it's a scramble, and we'll see. That football has been loose tonight. TSU say they have it. We will take a look. Jonathan Williams trying to scramble out to his right on the keeper, just dropped the football. Several Tigers were right there to make the recovery.
Oh, huge break there for Grambling State. Texas Southern had a chance to get that ball. Guys try to scoop and score, but Jonathan Williams tried to do too much on that last play. He catches a huge break for his offense getting that ball back.
He did. He did. As you take another look at it, you see Williams, he just lost the football.
Ball was knocked out by the defender. Had a chance right there for Texas Southern to pick it up. 51 knocked it out of Jonathan Williams' hand. Oh, you got to fall on it. Huge break for Grambling State.
Boy, that was opportunity knocking right there. And that's just sometimes it's a game of inches, and they just couldn't come up with that fumble. But both teams struggling just a little bit with the turnovers in this one.
If you're Texas Southern, you still want to bring pressure. Keep your eyes on Amir Bloom, number 44, on that bottom side right there in the corner.
Jonathan Williams deep in his own territory, hands off, and he is knocked down right there after a short gain. That's number 24, Jawan Martin, and we have another flag down on the field. It appeared to be after the play, so we will see what they call. Darian Claiborne made the stop for the TSU Tigers. Of course, he's been out with a knee injury. He's back in action tonight.
And what we are witnessing here, Butch, throughout this game, you already established the tempo as far as with the flags. Anytime an official see any extra drawing or any hand movement outside the play, they're going to throw the flag regardless of what's taking place. From reading his lips, it looks like he said unsportsmanlike conduct against Texas Southern.
It's going to back the Tigers up, and it's going to be a first down. It lets the Grambling Tigers out of a big, big hole, and it backs the TSU Tigers up, and all of a sudden Grambling has a first down. So Williams will have it right about the 17-yard line. He hands it inside. Ball is loose again. It's up. A mad scramble for it. Tigers still trying to get it, and finally it's recovered right there by number 89, Justin Wheat for TSU. Brandon Thomas and Darian Claiborne both over there for the Tigers. And now we have a man down at about the 18-yard line.
And before I want to say recover for Texas Southern, I thought the ball went out of bounds, which gives the ball back to Grambling State.
Well, Justin Wheat was on it, and when Justin was on it, he was still in bounds because he had his knees down. So we'll see what the officials, how they rule it. But what kind of action are we seeing in this one? The running back is hit, the ball pops out immediately, and they're laying that ball on the ground a lot tonight.
And this is a scary sight for Texas Southern fans and alumni as Amir Bloom is on the field. Their number one playmaker up front on the defensive lineman. He comes in this season with a lot of accolades and a lot of hype following this following season. And right now, you're holding your breath if you're a Texas Southern Tiger fan.
He was injured earlier this year also. Now let's take a look and see exactly what happened on the play.
Ouch.
As you can see, Williams makes the handoff. Right there, number 24, Jawan Martin is hit. The ball pops out. And it is Amir Bloom. And, of course, he was out earlier this year with a knee injury. came back a couple of weeks ago, and now he's down again, and it's hard to tell what the injury is at this point, but it could be a knee again.
Well, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but from watching that replay there and looking at his emotions, his raw emotions on the field, looks like it's the same knee injury, if not the other. It was a chop block at the lower part of his legs as his momentum was going forward. The Grambling State Tiger lineman blocked him low. You see in this replay here at the bottom screen, watch 44 right knee there, gets blocked and rolled up on. As we rewind the play, 75 goes low on number 44, Amir Bloom. Again, Amir Bloom is the impact player for Texas Southern defensive line. Seeing him down on the field right now is devastating for Texas Southern defense as well as their fans and their alumni.
The chop block is what got him down inside, and you know what? He had such a great year last year, and he was off to a good start. You can see Coach Asbury there talking to the young man, trying to keep his spirits up some, but boy, that's really, really tough when you have the type of season that he just had. We'll take a little time out, take a break away from the action. We come back, we'll check out the game between Texas Southern and Grambling.
Hello, I'm Alan Helfman, Vice President of River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. This is my friend and customer, Miss Georgia Provost. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Chrysler 300. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ellen is the only car dealer I will ever buy a car from.
Come see us at Kirby and the Southwest Freeway.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Ugh, why does she pack these things? I ate one by accident last time, and we won. It's good luck. But it tastes like a dirty old tree branch. What the heck is Quino? But this is for first place.
What is that, a loofah?
It's a Quino.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
And welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium. While we were away, the Texas Southern came up with a big defensive play as Williams completed a pass to Williams for Grambling, but there was holding on the play, so they're going to back them up. They're going to redo second down, and you actually didn't miss anything after all. Williams back to pass, fires a strike out to his right, has a man, and he steps out of bounds immediately.
And Butch, real quick, I want to give an update on Amir Bloom. We saw him sitting on the field before that timeout, and we saw him walk off the field. Most important, the fact he was under his own power. That speaks a lot for a young man that took a shot at his knees to walk off the field and make it to the sideline.
Now it's going to be third down for Grambling, third and about 13 yards to go. Williams back to pass. Has time, and then that time just went away very quickly there. A big play for the Tigers coming up with the sack.
And if you're Texas Southern defensively, especially up front, your leader goes down in Amir Bloom. You got to continue to bring the pressure. And you see Texas Southern and company, defensive lineman by committee, was able to come in and get a sack against Jonathan Williams. Someone needs to step up in the absence of Amir Bloom, and it has to be a unit as a whole to be able to bring pressure against Jonathan Williams.
Gamble got the big sack right there as the Grambling Tigers punted away. The kick right there from Jonathan Wallace, hauled in by Cross. Makes a move, trying to cut it back to the left side, and he can't get there as he goes down at about the 47-yard line. So the Grambling Tigers just trying to move that ball out of their own territory and get it closer to midfield.
And it gives Texas Southern Tigers offensively some great field position across the 50-yard line. If you're Homer Kazi, you got to find a way to kind of reestablish yourself by throwing the ball. He done an excellent job finding Lewis Carter III here in the second quarter, but you got to find a way to reestablish that running game too. Bring some balance to your offensive system this series.
Tigers will start first and 10 right at about the 48-yard line. Causey this time working out of the I formation. Takes the football, hands it to Patipa, and he bangs it in on the left side for a couple of yards. That time it looked like they lined up and said, hey, we're just going to take it right at you guys and try to play some smash mouth football.
Yeah, you have to. You got to, go right at Grambling State. You can't always go to the outside. Sometimes the defense needs to be attacked head on. And right now, Coach Asbury wanted to reestablish his running game and attack the inside of of Grambling State's defensive line.
Second down and about 8 for TSU. Causey looking to pass again. Pumps it, throws it deep. He has a man, but he's way deep, and it is incomplete. He was trying to hit Plummer on the play.
Yeah, he tried to fool Michael Roach, the defensive back, number 6 for Grambling State with the pump and go. Roach stayed home on that last play. Good job there for the DB.
But you know what? They hit Causey again. He took another big shot in the backfield, so they're going to have to do a better job keeping the heat off of that guy.
He's a tough individual. He can take a lot of shots. He's a guy that builds off momentum. As the game goes along, he continues to build confidence and shows his toughness.
Third down now for the TSU Tigers. Causey in the pocket, looking to pass, has to roll it out to the right. Floats it out there, has a man. That's Cross with the catch, and he's forced out of bounds right there.
First reception there by Malik Cross tonight for Texas Southern. Malik Cross is a playmaker. He's normally in the slot for Texas Southern, and they do a lot of wide receiver screens to him. But he has the ability, once he gets the ball in his hands, he can make the first guy miss and pick up the first down.
Cross was short of the first down, so a huge down for TSU. It's going to be 4th and a yard to go as Causey goes back to the I formation again and calls out the signals. Hands it to Patipa. He's hit. Second effort. It's going to be close.
If anything, his momentum and forward progress got the first down. But Grambling State was there to swallow him up for the stop.
Javante Williams there, one of the Grambling Tigers on the hit, but this one's going to depend on the spot all the way because it depends on how much forward progress do they give him.
Guys, Amir Bloom is on the sideline with his helmet on, and looks as though his return is going to be doubtful for today. His ankle was a little hurt on the sidelines, but you never know in these situations. He was able to walk off. They'll go back and reevaluate it maybe sometime in the second half, but right now his return is doubtful.
Thank you very much, Nick. That's a shame, and as you could see the mark off there, they weren't even close according to that mark.
No, not at all. I thought he had the momentum and the forward progress there, but it was not called the first down. And it's good to hear that Amir Bloom has an ankle injury instead of a knee injury.
That is good news. And so Grambling will start with the football at the 39-yard line. Good shot. You can see the big fella there on the sidelines walking around with that ice pack on his leg. And here we go. Williams floats it out, has a man over there, and it's number 28, Justin Kelly, who's is number 23 actually on the play, Cedric Skinner, and he is forced out of bounds after a short gain.
Skinner comes into the game. That's first reception tonight. Wants to bring in some fresh blood and some extra energy for Grambling State offense. Good job there on that last reception.
Williams looking to throw again. He fires one, has a man wide open, and he missed it. The pass was a little high. And that's going to be another one of those penalties that's really going to hurt. Letevin Wilcox hit a defensive receiver when he probably didn't have to.
Absolutely, Butch. He hit him when he really didn't have to. The ball was way out over the receiver's head. Wilcox took a shot at the receiver. Now it's going to hurt his defense.
That's been the story so far in the first half. Penalties have really hurt TSU. It's kind of hard to tell on that play, but the ball was not really catchable. It was high and away, and that one's going to hurt.
I mean, you want your guys to be aggressive in the secondary, but you also want them to play smart, too. You see a pass like that so high where it's out of range for the receiver, don't go for the kill shot. Save that energy for the next play.
The defense, we have 4:42 left to go in the first half, so it's going to be a first down for the Grambling Tigers. So this is a position where the TSU defense is going to have to say, hey, look, it's time for us to make a stand here, do something to get that ball back to the offense.
They have to. They have no other choice with 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go into halftime. Force a turnover, make a stand, build off this first half momentum, carry it over to halftime, make some adjustments, and come out on fire in third quarter defensively. Texas Southern, again, has lost their true leader up front, Amir Bloom, to an ankle injury. He might not return. So who's going to step up defensively? I mean, secondary has been attacked throughout this game by Jonathan Williams. The front seven, someone has to step up. Maybe a linebacker.
Well, the official didn't have his mic on, but we know what it was. Personal foul on the Tevin Wilcox for the late hit, as you can see on the sideline.
Yeah, the pass is too high for the receiver there, and that's the shot by Wilcox was unnecessary for the Texas Southern Tigers defense.
Well, you look at it there, though. It was a lot closer than it looked that first time. He got his hands on the football, so that's one of those bang-bang plays that happened to go against the TSU Tigers. Williams back to pass again. In trouble, scrambles out to his right, still looking downfield, and he just throws the football away.
I tell you, Jonathan Williams is very hard to bring down. There's no doubt about it. Texas Southern is still bringing that pressure up front for their defensive linemen. But Jonathan Williams was able to escape that pressure that time and live for another down.
Caleb Jenkins putting some of the heat on him there. And just in fairness to LeTevin, that was a closer play than it appeared. Because
it was.
He was right near the boundary when he hit him, so that was one of those tough calls. That actually could have went either way. Now 2nd and 10 for the Grambling Tigers. Williams looking to throw again, fires over the middle, and a big play right there, a big hit from Brandon Thomas.
And that's the closing speed you want to see out of your senior from Houston, Texas, and Brandon Thomas was able to come in. If we see this replay here, Jonathan Williams just go across the middle, but Brandon Thomas close in. Good job there by the safety.
He tried to hit Domino. The pass was a little wide, but Brandon Thomas made a great hit on the play. Here we go. Williams back to throw again on 3rd down. Fires, and it is incomplete. Pass over the middle. Brandon Thomas was almost had a pick six there.
Yeah, and that's the plays that you need your secondary and your safety to make. When you smell the play, you see it from the secondary position, you got to capitalize on it. You have to execute. But Texas Southern has a chance to kind of get back into this thing now with Grambling State punting the ball on 3 and out.
Jonathan Wallace on for the Grambling Tigers as they go to punt the ball away. He kicks it, tries to get it down inside the 10, and Cross made the catch, and some of the Grambling Tigers reacted like it was a fumble on the play, but I think Cross just dove down on it, and I think he's going to be down right there. Let's see. Now, a couple of officials are in there trying to unstack the situation again.
A couple of officials going down themselves on that last play, but it looks like Texas Southern recovered it, in my opinion, but we'll see here shortly.
That was a dangerous play by Cross, though. He came in there, it was a low punt. He came in a crowd, tried to make a catch on it, and but he maintained possession.
What we're seeing here from the punt returners that they're taking their eyes off the ball. Cross had it, though. He had it, it got into his body. He couldn't find a way to keep it to his body, and the ball popped out. But, you know, fortunately for the Texas Southern Tigers, they were able to get the ball back for their offense.
Okay, Homer, Kazi, and company will start 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Tigers going to work with 4:11 to go in the second quarter, so they'd love to get some points before we hit the half. Causey with a give to Jimmy Patipa. He breaks away from one tackler before he's finally knocked down by a couple of others. Nicholas Peoples, one of the Grambling Tigers, in on the stop.
Patipa is still running hard, trying to find a way, find some running lanes. He gets away from this first defender here. But you can see the hard work, the determination of the young man to try to find a way to continue to push this ball down the field for the Texas Southern Tigers. You got to love his effort and his heart right now late in the second quarter.
He kept those legs driving, trying to pick up some extra yards, and now the Tigers are looking at a 2nd and about 7. Causey back to pass again. fires, has a man. That's Billy Rosenberg spinning for the first down, and a lot more. Rosenberg has 3 Grambling Tigers on him, and they couldn't get him down. A big play right there by the tight end.
And Bush, this time when Homer Kazi goes to his big tight end, 6'5" Rosenberg, he makes the reception. But look at how hard it is to bring him down. At 6'5", with momentum, it takes 3 defenders from Grambling State to bring him down and really stop his momentum as the Texas Southern picks up the first down.
Billy almost made a great catch earlier in the game, so it's good to see him bounce back right there, picking up the first down for the Tigers. Causey with a give to Patipa, and he is spun down right there in the backfield.
If you're Texas Southern, you got to be mindful of the clock. You got to have better clock management here in the second quarter. You're down 21-7, under 3 minutes. You can't take your time at the line of scrimmage. You got to find some kind of steady pace to kind of really go here in the second quarter and produce some points before halftime.
Philip McLean in the backfield to make the play for the Grambling Tigers. Fine play for the senior from Ruston, Louisiana. Big play, so now we're looking at 2nd and about 14 for Homer Causey. Blitz on the play by the Grambling Tigers. Causey gets it off, and it is complete to Cross for a nice game, but he is short of the first down. Tyree Hollins came in to make the stop.
You got to pick up the pace if you're Homer Causey. Now you're in a 2-minute offense here. Great reception by Malik Cross coming across the middle in the seam route there from the slot position. But if you're Homer Causey, you got to pick up the pace. You're in the 2-minute warning, or 2 minutes left here in this first half. You got to pick up the pace offensively.
Causey going back to work now, under 2 minutes to go, looking to pass. Shoots up the middle, tries to throw it away, and as he's going down, and here come the flags. Homer Causey under pressure. He was taken down as he was going down, tried to throw the ball away, and what a play right there.
It might be another intentional grounding against Homer Causey.
Steve Arasaki, the Houston native, back in the backfield again. Well, they got in the backfield in a hurry. The Tigers from Grambling have gotten a lot of use out of that blitz today.
No doubt about that, and the pocket collapsed too fast on him.
So now there's a loss of down because intentional grounding was called on the play. As you can see, Homer under all kinds of pressure going down, and he threw it right there. It hit one of his linemen in the back. And the punt is away by Carter. Fair catch called by McGee. And that is where the Grambling Tigers will start 1st and 10 with 1:31 to go in the half. They will start from their own 26-yard line.
And I talked about Texas Southern trying to find a way to build off some momentum and pick up a sense of urgency and a quicker pace here. But on the flip side with Grambling State, if you're Jonathan Williams, you can't afford any turnovers right here with your back against the wall on the 25-ish yard line. You want to find a way to kind of continue to move the ball down the field but not produce any turnovers, being able to get in the halftime with the 21-7 lead and be able to regroup going into the second half.
You can see Coach Darrell Asbury in there talking to his offense saying, hey, we need to get it rolling, guys. And the Grambling Tigers go to the handoff right up the middle, and some power running there for number 24. That's Jawan Martin on the carry. And that'll keep the clock rolling.
Yeah, smart play calling there by the head coach of Grambling State to be able to put the ball on the ground. You want to keep this clock ticking away here and get into halftime and into that locker room.
Williams hands it inside again. It's Martin again, and he is spun down right there, Brandon Thomas, with a big hit in the backfield to knock him down. Now the Tigers from Grambling are hurrying to the line. So it looked like they were trying to work on the clock for a while, but now they want to get this thing off because he picked up the first down. So 1st and 10. Williams' pass is complete over there, and he has his man. It's number 80, Chester Rogers. Chester Rogers has 35 catches this year. He's their top receiver, so they'll be trying to get him the ball a lot more in the second half.
Smart play there by the receiver to make the reception but still stay in bounds and fall down, forcing Texas Southern to use one of their timeouts.
45 seconds to go in the first half. One of the good things the Tigers have been doing the last couple of weeks is when they go in at halftime, they have done a really good job at making these halftime adjustments. They did it last week despite losing the game, and they did it the week before that also.
Yeah, Coach Asbury is a very experienced coach. He knows how to make halftime adjustments. He's a former quarterback himself. Anytime he observes what takes place in the first half, he has the understanding and the ability to make those proper adjustments for this team in the third quarter, and they've been having some success here in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully they can get a win this Saturday.
Grambling with 2nd and about 5. Williams in the pocket looking to throw. Fires one that's intercepted by Brandon Thomas. He comes back and he slides down right at about the 39. So that was that big turnover the Tigers needed to come up with from TSU. And Brandon Thomas, who's made a couple of big plays, came up with another one.
Yeah, good play there by Brandon Thomas. He makes up for the drop one earlier in the late a couple of plays ago in the second quarter. But Brandon Thomas was able to read the eyes of Jonathan Williams, was able to pick up the interception there for Texas Southern. If you're Texas Southern Tigers, you got to like what you saw there from their secondary. Hopefully you can get some shots at the end zone here before halftime.
He made a great job because he had that underneath coverage, and he came back. He came off of his area, pulled in, made the interception. So now the Tigers have a chance to get some points with Jamal Small in the game at quarterback. 37 seconds to go. Small looking to throw. Dumps it off. Has a man. That's Plummer. Dancing near the sidelines, but he did not get out of bounds to stop the clock.
You got to get out of bounds if you're a receiver for Texas Southern. You do not. Well, they have enough timeouts to burn here, but if you're Plummer, you got to get out of bounds and stop that clock.
It looks like Homer's all right. I can see Homer Causey on the bench, so this may be just a coach's decision here late in the game. Maybe he has a stronger arm.
So we saw a lot of Jamal Smalls early in this season, Butch. He's a guy that can come in at 6'3" with a strong arm, better than Homer Causey from the standpoint of having a better pockets presence. Once he's in that pocket and he has enough time, he can pick any secondary apart. He has enough confidence because he has some wins under his belt as well from Texas Southern this season. Coach Asbury goes with Jamal Smalls this series. I kind of understand why he's doing that because Jamal Smalls, in my opinion, has a better and a stronger arm than Homer Causey.
Jamal is he's a redshirt senior, so he's been around here a while, so he kind of understands, the offense. He understands what's going on. He also understands the situation. So the Tigers now are going to look at a 2nd and 5, but the real deal is the clock has 28 ticks left to go in the second quarter. Small getting his protection set. Back in the pocket, looking to throw. Small steps up, still looking to throw, and finally he just threw it away. Intended for Carpenter, but he was really just throwing that football away.
And I talked about Small's pockets presence. If that was Homer Causey, he would have took off to the left because there was more opportunity and real estate on that side. But Jamal Smalls is a guy that wants to seek the pass first. He's a little bit more patient in the pocket. And on that last play, he didn't like what he saw in the secondary. He just threw it away.
Tigers are looking at a 3rd and 5 now. Jamal Small in the pocket. Fires near the sidelines. It's for Cross, but the pass is low, and it is incomplete. So now we have 18 seconds to go. And it's going to be 4th and 5. Tigers keeping the offense out there with 18 ticks to go. You know what? You run that play you ran to Larry Clark. You run that same play to Mr. Clark again, and you get the football up.
I was thinking the same thing, Butch. Find Larry Clark the third. Maybe you can get another touchdown before halftime.
All right, Small back to pass. In the pocket. Ball slips out of his hands, I think. He went to pump, and I think the pass slipped out of his hands. A lot of pressure coming from the outside. Let's see what happened there because I'm not really sure. Jamal Small in the pocket. As you can see, looking downfield. Yeah, that's what happened. He got hit right as he went to deliver it. and he was going through the motion. I guess they ruled that an incomplete pass.
Well, someone didn't tell Grambling State not to continue to bring pressure, because that's exactly what they did on that last play. Good job there for the defensive end to get off his block and bring pressure on Jamal Smalls, giving this offense another opportunity here before halftime.
So Grambling got 13. They have 13 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Either you just take a knee and take it to the house.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you have 21 points in the first half. Very competitive first half from your offense. Jonathan Williams done an outstanding job by leading this team. Be conservative, be smart, and go into halftime and regroup. There it is. Jonathan Williams takes the knee. The clock will tick out, and the Grambling Tigers sprint into the locker room with a 21-7 lead over the TSU Tigers. Coach Asbury still coaching on the sidelines. As I said before, they will go in there, and you know they will make several adjustments. Any surprises from you for the first half besides all the turnovers? Well, the biggest surprise is the penalties from both teams. I'm kind of shocked to see late in this season both teams still making bonehead decisions and having those type of plays where they're drawing back and forth and guys are playing undisciplined football. Outside of that, you know, it's been very competitive. Both teams are coming at each other. Both teams are making adjustments. I like the play out of the quarterbacks from both teams. So it sets up to be an exciting second half. Hopefully Texas Southern can make those right adjustments and make a push here in the third quarter. A lot of big plays in the first half. You can say that again. A lot of big plays, and the turnovers have hurt both teams, though. It really, that's been one of the big keys as they go in there. But how much do you think the TSU Tigers have missed Davion Porter? Oh, he's the main ingredient for that offense. I mean, you have Homer Kazi, but he only can do so much. Davion Porter is a special kid. He's a guy that has unbelievable skill sets. He has great ball skills. Coming out the backfield, you can dump the ball off to him. He can take it to the house. But one thing I love the most about Davion Porter is the ability to escape tackles and his breakaway speed. I mean, you get him between the line of scrimmage, he can take it the distance on any given play. You're talking about replacing your leading rusher, a guy who has 131 attempts for 876 yards. Yeah, he's a big part of that offense, and not having him in the first half, you can see that because Grambling State pretty much forced Homer Kazi to throw the ball. They did not feel threatened at all from the Texas Southern running game. And right now, if you're Texas Southern, you got to find a way to bring some balance to that offensive system in the second half. Coach Asbury wants to be successful throwing the ball, but you got to run the ball against this Grambling State defense. You know, they talked last week about coming out, getting a fast start, and they really got another slow start. So they're in the locker room now to make these adjustments. But at this point, let's go down to Nick Strong on the sideline. Nick.
Coach, at the half, we saw you went to Jamel Small at the end of that second half. That's going to be at the end of the first half. And everything all right with Homer Causey, or will Small come back out in the second half?
Smalls will start the second half.
On the defensive side of the ball, the defensive coordinator and coaches talked about a sense of urgency, Coach. What can you tell your team at the half to get that sense of urgency back and stop the defensive side of the ball for the Grambling State Tigers?
Well, our defense just needs to continue to play at a higher energy. We just need to get our offense up to a higher energy. We're missing Davion Porter. We just need to get that run game going back with Jimmy and put the offense in position to make plays.
Coach, he's looking good out there in his first start. What about you? What do you think about him?
I think he's going to be fine. We're going to get him the ball more the second half, and we're going to find a way to win this football game. It's just a one-possession game right now.
Coach, good luck at the half. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for watching. You're watching Tiger Football here on the TSU Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work. together.
We are at halftime at BBVA Compass Stadium in this battle of Tigers, where the Grambling Tigers lead the Texas Southern Tigers 21-7. We are enjoying the Bud Light halftime show. Now let's listen to the marching band from the Grambling Tigers.
Percy Crusoe. If you haven't been to French's Chicken, or if it's been a while since your last visit, no place does chicken like French's. Our chicken is seasonized with our blend of Creole herbs and spices. Our side dishes include the tastiest greens and red beans and rice you'll ever put in your mouth. Try our new King Roll rotisserie chicken at our Scott Street location. Come on by French's Chicken, where the taste lasts forever.
People who make the right moves, a rocket moving. You need to call the people who always do it right and work hard day and night to make the right moves. You need people who care, people who make the right moves, a rocket moving.
When we send an IBW electrician to your job site, I expect my electrical worker to be neat. I expect him to be professional. I expect him to be on time. I expect him to be productive. I expect him to do everything in his power or her power to ensure that employer is successful. Because what's going to get us more work is successful jobs.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
And welcome to the Bud Light Halftime Show. I'm Butch Alcindor along with Lemont Williams. And so far in this first half, we saw a very exciting first half. A lot of turnovers, and that's the reason why it's 21-7. The Grambling Tigers leading the TSU Tigers.
Yeah, it's very entertaining from both teams. Both teams came out showing their offensive weapons, but it was a lot of penalties and turnovers. Teams didn't take advantage of a lot of breaks as well.
They didn't, but one of the big keys in the first half, the TSU Tigers playing without Devion Porter. That is huge. Devion Porter, their leading rusher, their second leading receiver, and even though Jimmy Patipa is having a fine game, that's one of their main weapons not available tonight.
Yeah, he's a key component for that offense. Not having this ability to be able to take plays to the home and score touchdowns hurt Texas Southern offensively. Homer Kazi has to find a way to kind of produce and manufacture touchdowns for Texas Southern in the second half.
Let's take a look now and check out some of the highlights from the first half, because it was a very exciting first half as we pick it up here. Tigers coming out. Beautiful day for football, and as you can see, the pressure on Kazi. He's hit and the ball is loose, and then Williams, Jonathan Williams, tosses the touchdown pass to Chad Williams early in the game, and then we're back with Kazi again.
Yeah, Kazi has to find a way to continue to find some rhythm here in the second half. He wanted to establish the passing game, but this is going to be key for Texas Southern in the second half. That running game. That running game is the most important part for that offense to bring some balance against Grambling State tough defense.
Jimmy Patipa came on for Devion Porter, did a fine job, but the pressure on Kazi was relentless in the first half, and that is Williams again, looking deep for Williams, another fine connection. At one point, Grambling tried to pick up the pace, come up and make something happen, but you talk about the fine defense played by Texas Southern and Brandon Thomas.
Yeah, Brandon Thomas and company. The Texas Southern Tigers by committee lost their leader in Amir Bloom, but they stepped up huge in the second quarter, being able to force turnovers as well.
Of course, Grambling, their quarterback, Jonathan Williams, is not only their leading passer, but he's their leading rusher, because he can do things like that. He'll pull it down and make some things happen. This is Williams again looking downfield, fires in the end zone, and he has his man for a touchdown. It was 14-0 at that point.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams is a guy that shows a dual threat ability to be able to run and throw the ball. But Homer Kazi took the team on his shoulders in the second quarter. Actually, Batiza was there in the second quarter as well for the Texas Southern Tigers to bring an added spark. But Homer is the guy. He's the guy that got to do it for Texas Southern in the second half. A lot of things are going to depend on his shoulder and his arm.
Jimmy Patipa did a fine job when they called this number, but here, this was a big turnover here. Right there. Anthony McGee called for the fair catch, did not make it. TSU made the recovery, and that would set the Tigers up. And then after several penalties, this is what happened. Causey fires a strike to Larry Clark, who made a great catch for the touchdown. That was fourth and maybe a small town.
Yeah, much needed touchdown there for Texas Southern too.
Williams comes right back with a great back shoulder throw. He has McGee again for a first down. And then the pitch this time to Williams. He takes it in for the touchdown, and it was 21-7. Grambling Tigers leading the football game at that point. Let's take a look at some stats from the first half, and as you can see, when you talk about the total yards, not that much difference, really, when you look at it.
No, not at all, but what things you can see is that there's no running game on both sides of the ball. Whatever team established the running game here in the second half will end up winning this game here at BBVA Compass Stadium.
So far, a lot of penalties in the first half, a lot of turnovers. They're going to have to do something about that to jump back into this game in the second half.
Yeah, I want to see better disciplined football from both teams as well.
Okay, we'll be right back with the kickoff between Texas Southern and Grambling after these messages.
I hate watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. They can't hear you, Ramsey. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. And he always brings Bud Light. Little dog won't come out from under the couch. But we're winning. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
The environment is my passion. Every day I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Hello, I'm Alan Helfman, Vice President of River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. This is my friend and customer, Miss Georgia Provost. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Chrysler 300. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ellen is the only car dealer I will ever buy a car from.
Come see us at Kirby and the Southwest Freeway.
And welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium, where the Texas Southern Tigers are getting set to kick it off to the Grambling Tigers to start the second half. Lemont, we had so many penalties and turnovers in the first half. The Tigers have been making all of these adjustments at halftime. I have no doubt they will do it again. Here goes the kick from Chris Medina, and it's hauled in right there by Anthony McGee. Starts up the middle, cuts it back to the left, and he is finally dropped at about the 33-yard line. And that is where the Grambling Tigers will start. 1st and 10 from that point. Dondre Dobbins there on the tackle for the Tigers.
And Butch, we expect Texas Southern to make the halftime adjustment, but you got to find a way for Jonathan Williams to continue to move that ball offensively if you're Grambling State Tigers offense. He's a guy that wanted to continue to build off that momentum he established in the first half, throwing the ball, but he also established the running game too with his legs.
The TSU Tigers did a pretty good job containing Jonathan Williams in the first half. Here he is to start the second half. Hands it inside, and he gives it to the big guy going inside. That's number 28, Justin Kelly, and he is knocked down right there by a couple of Tigers.
Again, but whoever established the running game here in the second half will control the momentum in this game. Both teams had less than 100 yards rushing at halftime.
Williams gives it to Kelly again, and he rolls over one guy, and then Jarius Moore came up before putting the pads on him right there to knock him down.
Texas Southern without their true leader up front on defense line, Amir Bloom, goes out with an ankle injury. You see Grambling State want to take advantage of that early here in this third quarter.
Jonathan Williams from the shotgun, back under pressure, rolls, fires over the middle. He has his man, and it is complete right there to Verlon Hunter. He hauls it in, and that is a first down on the play.
Good play there by Jonathan Williams. They able to extend the play by rolling out to the left, by buying some more time, freed up his receiver for the first down.
So the Tigers get the first down. They start 1st and 10 right about midfield, maybe the 49-yard line. Williams back. He hands it inside to Kelly again, and he just bangs his way for a quick 9 yards right up the middle.
Keep your eye on the tempo established here in this early in the third quarter by Grambling State. They want to continue to build off a quick-paced tempo, and having this tempo right now is playing in their favor.
Ball goes back to Kelly again. He bounces off tacklers and finally knocked down at about the 35-yard line. And he's taken himself out of the ball game for a blow at that point. He goes out, and number 24, Jawan Martin, enters the ball game. Now, we'll have a special treat for you in just a minute. TSU Athletic Director Dr. Charles McClellan is here to talk a little football with us at half. We'll get Charles in just a second. We have a timeout on the field, so let's get Charles in right now if we can. We'll talk a little bit. Joining us in the booth now is Texas Southern Athletic Director Dr. Charles McClellan. He brought his son along with him, so we're going to have a lot of fun here. Tell me a little bit, first of all, about this team, because you look at Grambling and TSU. These are two teams that was predicted last and second to the last. So just they have to be, you know, the turnaround of the year in the SWAC.
Well, when you look at both of these teams, we kind of started off the same way 3 years ago. Both of us played a lot of redshirt freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and both teams have started to mature. And when you look at the third year, that's when you want those teams to start maturing with that talent.
I mean, I say you brought Kanan in here with us also.
That's my bodyguard.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I thought he was coming to do a little play-by-play for me here. Yeah, let's talk a little bit, because one of the things, there's so many things that have gone on to make improvements with this team this year, but one of the things I know you're really proud about is the GPA of this team.
Well, no doubt. We've been able to put a lot of emphasis on the academic rigors here at Texas Southern University, and football having one of the nation's lowest at a 735 APR. Now they're up to a 977. That's a testament of Coach Asbury.
It is, and it's a testament to the patience of the administration also, because you're coming off 2 straight 2-9 seasons, and this year you're trying to clinch a winning season with a win before the end of the year, and you clinch your first winning season.
Well, it's important that we do it the right way. Coming off the NCAA sanctions and the APR sanctions, we don't want to win at all costs. We don't want to do it hurriedly and make mistakes. We've made enough mistakes in the past. We wanted to build it the right way. We wanted Coach Asbury to be patient in building it the right way. We wanted to do it with freshmen. We knew it was going to take some time for them to mature, and as you can see, they're starting to mature. Still have some more maturity to go, all of those penalties and all of those turnovers, but we're well on our way.
And you are definitely still in the West Hunt. That's another, we hear the whistle blow there. We had a lot of flags in the first half, and that's really kind of changed the momentum of this game a little bit.
Well, when you look at Grambling, we outrushed them and we outpassed them, but they up 14 points. That was because of penalties and turnovers, and that's something that they must correct, not just from a defensive standpoint, but from a discipline standpoint, and that's all on coaching there.
And one of the positive things along those lines is the last couple of weeks, the Tigers have gone in at halftime, and they have made those halftime adjustments.
Well, that's been the trend of the defensive coordinator over the last 2 years. If we could just stay within reach in the first half, we know we're going to have opportunity in the second half. But, you know, you would like to see Homer make a little bit more quick reads on his progression. I saw Jamal Smalls came in, and you look for Jamal to do that because he's more of a pocket passer.
Williams fakes the handoff, keeps around the right side, gets a blocker, and he's out of bounds near the 15. Charles, thank you for stopping by. We're not going to keep you long. I know you got your superstitions and you want to get back to where you need to be to make sure this happened. But, Kanan, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming by. And wish the Tigers some luck in the second half.
Well, I want to say thank you to you and Lemont. You guys do an outstanding job. Our viewership have grown almost 6 times when we started. And you're probably the most professional duo in the city of Houston.
Well, thank you very much.
I
appreciate that. And that's Williams on the keeper again, and he's knocked down at the 12. The Grambling Tigers knocking on the door again.
Yeah, Grambling State is picking up where they left off offensively in the first half. You see Jonathan Williams is trying to find a way to continue to move this train down the field. I'm talking about Grambling State. This young man is showing a lot of heart and desire here on the road in a tough environment against Texas Southern.
You know, we're talking about halftime adjustments. Obviously, the Grambling Tigers made some because they've come out and they've cranked up that running game pretty good.
Well, Butch, let's face it, they're not on a 5-game winning streak for nothing. Their offensive coordinator knows how to make adjustments as well. They went in halftime, regroup, say, let's go out here with a clean slate 0-0 on the scoreboard mentally, because they're coming out and they're attacking Texas Southern defense with that running game early. Now you're starting to see Jonathan Williams starting to get back in the flow of things here in this third quarter too.
You know, and throughout the year to this point, I mean, their thing has always been passing the football, you know, getting the football out. And to see, this has been a pretty nice drive for the Grambling Tigers.
Play clock for 25 seconds.
And what you also want to keep in mind too is whoever controls the clock control the momentum. I talked about the running game, which plays in the fact if you're running the ball successfully, you're going to have an opportunity to control the clock. And right now, it's all Grambling State.
Williams with a quick pass has his man right there, number 81. He is upended after a short gain inside. That is Edward Cutno inside. He had the touchdown in the first half, and the Tigers from Grambling get back to the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
And I always want to charm in. I didn't get a chance to ask Dr. McCullough a question, but one thing I do want to say is that he gave me my first start here in Houston as a TV broadcaster, and it gave me an opportunity to cut my teeth with the program. So I really have a high respect level for Dr. Charles McCullough and his whole Texas Southern program.
They got it going in the right direction, and that's all you can really do. Good things happen after that, after you start going in the right direction. So the Grambling Tigers come up now. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. And that is Williams inside for the touchdown.
Great way to finish off an excellent drive there by Grambling State Tigers. They knew exactly what they wanted to do offensively, and they executed that, showing some balance here in this last series. Jonathan Williams capitalizing on the opportunity to run into the end zone for the Grambling State Tigers.
Straight run, straight quarterback sweep right. He goes in behind those big old blockers and is in for the touchdown. I mentioned earlier he is their leading rusher also, and he showed you a little bit about why right there. Orozco in for the extra point, and it is good. And right now, those Tigers from Grambling are leading the Texas Southern Tigers. It is 28-7 in the 3rd quarter.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
And welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium, where the Grambling Tigers are leading Texas Southern 28-7. Hi, I'm Butch Alcindor along with Lemont Williams, and we're watching a second half game, and this is going to be a money drive for the TSU Tigers now, because if they're going to get back into this game, they would have to start on this drive. It'd be great to start on this drive.
Yeah, they put themselves in a bigger hole now in this 3rd quarter. Their defense could not stop the pressure and the attack from Grambling State offense. Jonathan Williams and company, you got to like what the offensive coordinator of Grambling State dialed up after halftime. Establish the running game first, then let's rely on Jonathan Williams to get us in the end zone. They did exactly that on that last scoring drive.
Tigers are waiting the kickoff. Orozco boots it, and we are there. It's LaTevin Wilcox. Takes it at about the 8. Starts up the hash, cuts it to the outside before he's finally yanked down on the 32-yard line. That was a power drive for the Grambling Tigers.
And it starts with the running game. You see Jonathan Williams there was able to, after establishing running plays, was able to find his receivers. But here comes the power back right there from Grambling State, pushing down the field for Grambling State. And Jonathan Williams, he's showing a lot of heart by running the ball too, Butch.
He is, and like I said, he's not their leading rusher for nothing, but Justin Kelly, also, he's a big fella. He's 5'11", 235, so he's a load. So here go the Tigers. As Coach said, Jamal Small would be the starting quarterback in the second half. He gets it going with a pass to the right side. He has Fred Plummer, and that's good for about 5 yards.
Well, we talked about Texas Southern having some kind of sense of urgency. They come in with a different quarterback, Jamal Small. He's a 6'3" quarterback, redshirt senior, has a better pockets presence than Homer Kazi. Expect Texas Southern to air it out here in this 3rd quarter.
Small with a give to Cross. He breaks it back the other way, and Cross has nowhere to go. He goes down right there at about the 33-yard line. He's swarmed under by several players. Aaron Breed leading the way for the Grambling Tigers.
And also number 44, Henry Taylor, the linebacker, junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. One thing about Grambling State, they're not going to let up. Their defense is going to continue to bring pressure on whoever's back there at quarterback position for Texas Southern in the second half.
3rd and long for the Tigers from TSU. Small back to pass. Looks around over the middle, fires it, and he skips it in, intended for Plummer. He wants the flag. The officials say no flag. Maybe the first time tonight they didn't throw one, but it's an incomplete pass, so the TSU will have to punt the football away.
You know, not an impressive drive or series right there for Texas Southern. I know it's going to take Jamal Small a chance to get going here, sitting on the sideline for majority of the first half, but you got to come out ready to go. And right now, offensively, we talked about Texas Southern making halftime adjustments. We did not see those adjustments on that last series.
Carter's punt is blocked right there, and it's going to be, that's where the Grambling Tigers will get the football. It was blocked by number 81, Edward Cutno, the tight end, who was rushing on the punt and came up with a huge block.
Cutno says, oh no, on that punt there as he blocks it. A Texas Southern punter off his foot, giving down, setting up Jonathan Williams and his red-hot offense in that running game and some great field position, Butch.
He came through untouched as we check the scoreboard around the SWAC tonight. You can see Alabama A&M leading Jackson State 18-7. That one is in the 3rd quarter. And also in the 3rd, Southern has come back. They have rallied. They now lead Alabama State 18-14. Here, the Grambling Tigers have it after blocking the punt from Corey Carter. And now they start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Williams on a keeper. He goes inside for a couple of yards. Derek Lyles led the charge for the Tigers to knock him down. And, you know, talking to Coach Asbury this week, he told me one of the big keys would be how well they contain Williams. And we've just seen him start to break a couple of plays.
Yeah, he's very hard to contain, especially in this 3rd quarter. And it's due to the fact that he has a running game. Once, you know, that running game is established, it frees up Jonathan Williams to be able to pick apart Texas Southern defensively.
Cedric Skinner on the carry, but there are flags all over the field again. So there we go. Let's see what the officials have here.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10 yards, previous spot. Replay. 2nd down.
So the Grambling Tigers are guilty of holding. That's Justin Miller. That'll back them up, and that's going to be a huge play right there for the TSU defense.
Big break there for Texas Southern, and that was one of my key words in the first half with breaks. Any team that got a chance to get a break or have the momentum should have took advantage of some of the opportunities. Unfortunately, TSU did not do that in the first half. Grambling State took advantage of a lot of the opportunities that was given to them from Texas Southern, which built that lead.
Williams in the pocket, fires one to the left side, has his man, and he is dancing over there near the sidelines before he is finally pulled down. That is Domino, who made the catch and is knocked down right there after about a 6-yard gain. And now it's time for our A-Rocket Movers presents Do You Know TSU?
Here we go.
Tonight's question is, what are the names of TSU's mascots? We'll give you a little time to think about it. We'll come back with the answers later on. And Limana,
I think I got the answer.
I think you've already looked at the answer on the sheet. But we'll come back to that in just a little bit. 3rd down now for the Grambling Tigers. Williams back in the pocket, under pressure, gets away, throws the football, and he was just throwing that one away. It's a couple of seats up. Somebody might have themselves a football to take home. No, they threw it back. But Williams, under a lot of heat there, just threw that ball away. So that Texas Southern defense rising to the occasion there.
And I want to stand correctly. I said Amir Bloom was done for the game. However, I did see him play a couple of series. In that first series coming out the halftime, he had that hurt ankle late in the first half, but he was able to find a way to get back on the field in the 3rd quarter for Texas Southern.
Grambling's going to punt it away now. Jonathan Wallace, and his kick is away. He tries to just pooch it in there. It's picked up right there by number Oh, 51, but he's got number 5, actually. That is Trey Walker. Trey Walker picked up the punt, made a nice little return, and he almost fumbled, but he was down on the play.
Yeah, he was definitely down on the play. Ground cannot cause the fumble. Heads up play there for Trey Walker. Try to make something happen. He's a playmaker. I mean, he plays defense. And he's all swag, but if he gets his hands on the ball and have an opportunity, he can take it to the house too.
Good play not to let it bounce. Well, don't miss the TSU Tigers as they take on the Jackson State Tigers on November 15th. That game kickoff is 5:30 p.m. right here at BBVA Compass Stadium. The tickets are on sale now, so log on to tsuball.com today to get your tickets for the Tigers from Texas Southern taking on Jackson State. There goes the pass from Small. It goes out to Cross. He's trying to create something out there before he's swarmed under near the sideline.
Cross has been very active and aggressive offensively for Texas Southern. He's trying to find a way to get away from defenders and make something happen for this offense.
He couldn't shake L.J. Parker.
No, not at all.
Stayed right there with him.
But my point here also, Butch, is that if you're Texas Southern, and all the way for Grambling State to respect you, you got to find a way to go deep. Those short crossing routes and passes to Malik is not going to do it here in the second half.
Small passing, looking for the outside, trying to hit Larry Clark, and he overthrew that one just a tad over near the left side. So that is going to bring up a key third down for Texas Southern. Jamal Small had more time to, I'm sure, at halftime to loosen up and get ready to get in this game and make some big plays. As you said earlier, he's gotten some playing time this year because of the injury. Small back to pass. Under pressure, he is hit, gets away, still on his feet, looking to get the ball off. He's still up, and finally he's knocked down right there. A big play, but he showed some of that athletic ability there. Scrambling around in the backfield before Michael Jolivet knocked him down, but how many tackles did he break?
Well, you can't say Texas Southern quarterback Jamal Small didn't get the first down, not because of effort. He showed that on that last play. He was able to fight off one, but 2 defenders, 3 defenders, but takes a shot there at the end. You got to like the heart in the fight right now in Jamal Small.
Aaron Breed knocked him down at the end, and then here comes the punt. Carter's kick is nice. It's up and high. Fair catch being called for by McGee, and again, he had trouble putting the football away.
It's a mental thing. I mean, as a punt returner, I played a little bit of punt return when I was in high school, but it's a mental thing. Once you drop one, you always think about it.
He did, and now, as you can see, it's a 28-7 game. The Grambling Tigers are leading the TSU Tigers. We're going to pause for a quick timeout and be back with all the action here at BBVA Compass Stadium.
When we send an IBW electrician to your job site, I expect my electrical worker to be neat. I expect him to be professional. I expect him to be on time. I expect him to be productive. I expect him to do everything in his power or her power to ensure that employer is successful. Because what's going to get us more work is successful jobs.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
Cruzo. If you haven't been to French's Chicken, or if it's been a while since your last visit, no place does chicken like Frenchie's. Our chicken is seasonized with our blend of Creole herbs and spices. Our side dishes include the tastiest greens and red beans and rice you'll ever put in your mouth. Try our new King Roll rotisserie chicken at our Scott Street location. Come on by French's Chicken, where the taste lasts forever.
Welcome back, everyone. 7 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the third. Right now, let's go down to Nick Strong for an injury update. Nick?
Hey, guys, a lot down here on the sideline. The TSU Tigers say they're still in it. It's not over yet. Defensive coordinator Mr. Thornton says, hey, guys, we got to score on defense right here. Also, another injury update. Mr. Amir Bloom, number 44, he is back in uniform and ready to go on the sidelines. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Nick. And that is good news for the TSU Tigers. He's a young man who can bring a lot of heat. Amir is not on the field right now, but just the fact that he's available is very good news for the Tigers.
Yeah, but that ankle injury has slowed him down some bit this here in the second half, because he was explosive in the first half. That ankle injury starting to settle down. The game is starting to whine me, go on and on. As you continue to run on that, he has to feel some kind of soreness, and it's tightening up on him in some kind of way.
Williams with a quick pass to Hunter for a short gain, maybe a yard or two, as the Grambling Tigers start. They had it 1st and 10 from about the 33-yard line. Now it's 2nd down and about 5 or 6. Williams in the pocket, looking around, throws it over to the sideline again. He has another completion over there, and it's Jeremy Runner who makes the catch. It's the first time we've seen Jeremy tonight. Makes a nice catch and then steps out of bounds.
What can Jonathan Williams do? Continue to build out this second half success, throwing the ball and running the ball. He has to, like what he saw in that first series in the third quarter. They controlled that momentum and moved down the field against Texas Southern defense. Right now in this series here, he wants to kind of control the clock and continue to get first downs.
Williams hands it off right there to Runner. He's met in the backfield and then snowed under right there. A big play coming in for the TSU defense. It's number 50, Adrian Gamble was there, number 51, and a host of other Tigers, as you can see. Watch 51 Gamble going off the block, making the tackle right there. Also coming in is Brandon Thomas.
Yeah, Brandon Thomas is one of the guys that's been flying around making plays for Texas Southern. He had that late interception right before halftime. He's fired up and ready to go. You can see here in this third quarter, he's chopping at the bit and coming around and making some plays for TSU. You
have another Tiger player who's down on the field injured. That could be LaKendrick Connolly. I think it is LaKendrick. And they're actually looking at his knee, so that may not be good news at all. Let's take a look and see what happened on that play. You see Gamble pushing the blocker all the way in the backfield, so they're going to wrap him up real quick, but I don't see Connolly. There he is. He's knocked down at the bottom. Wasn't sure what happened to him, but it could be a knee injury.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far in this game, a lot of TSU players are going down with lower extremity injuries. So far, we've seen players walk off the field on their own power, but right now it's not looking too good for this player.
He's going to need a little help to get over to the sidelines, and that's a young man who had been playing so well. He played extremely well last week. The senior, of course, coming in from Mississippi, but he had a fine game last week. He really did. Was really helping that defense out. So, you know, needless to say, you hate to see that happen. And you've seen the trainers actually having to carry him off to the sideline.
Sad situation there. You see as players pretty much using leaning all his power on the people to get him off the field. That's not a good look.
Jonathan Wallace on to punt it away for the Grambling Tigers. Cross is taking a look at it, and he says no, thank you. He will not take that one, and the Grambling Tigers will down it right about the 25-yard line. So that is where Jamal Small and the offense will take over.
Yeah, you got to find a way to, again, if Texas Southern can balance this thing out, bring a running game to help Jamal, they can kind of find a way to cut this league down and get back into this game. If you're just one-dimensional and want to throw the ball, Grambling State is going to drop 8 to 9 defenders in the secondary and make you make plays in open field.
Coming into this game, Small had 725 yards passing, playing in 8 games, so he can get the ball deep when he has to. There's no doubt about that. He's in the backfield here, calling out the signals. Back to pass. Looks to his right, then fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. Might have been trying to set up a little screen in there for Larry Clark. Had a couple of big offensive linemen getting downfield there.
Just a simple, quarterback wants to go out. Yeah, it looks like it was a wide receiver screen from the backside as he was trying to go to number 85, Larry Clark III.
So 2nd and 10 for the TSU Tigers. Jamal Small in the pocket, hands it to Jimmy Patipa. He has a hole, slips one tackler, and look at him, just won't go down. Finally yanked down there close to a first down.
Patipa was the man in the first quarter for Texas Southern. Can he be the man for them in the third quarter? Well, if he's running the ball like this, I think he will be the man for Texas Southern. Just a hard-nosed runner. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but one thing he does have, Butch, is that he runs hard, and he'll run over you if you don't come with that tackle.
Troy Roach there for the stop. That's Jamal Small. Calls out the signals now for the Tigers. 1st and 10 from the 37. He fires a strike near the sidelines. He has Plummer, and he's out of bounds after a gain of about 6 yards. So Plummer has been the guy he's gone to for all the underneath routes today. He's really gotten the ball to him.
Well, it looks like Plummer, is the go-to guy for Jamal Small. I mean, early in the game, we saw Homer Kazi establish his presence with Larry Clark III. Small is going with Plummer right here in this third quarter.
Zone read. Jamal Small with a fake to Patipa. He keeps, and he picks up a short gain inside. On the stop was Javonte Williams for the Grambling Tigers. And Small did pick up the first down, so TSU will move the chains again. So the Tigers from TSU have something going here.
Yeah, they have something building up. I mean, they're building up a momentum right now. Can they continue this success here during this drive?
Small looking downfield, has a man, and it's overthrown on the outside. He was trying to go to Plummer again.
And you see Plummer is trying to explain to Jamal Small, it's throw it on this shoulder here so I can make a play.
He did. He looked over the wrong shoulder, and they weren't on the same page for that one.
And that's the tough part of coming off the bench, Butch, is the fact that you got to come hit the ground running. There's no room for error as from the quarterback position. Jamal Small has to come in and establish a chemistry real quick to have some kind of success here in this second half for Texas Southern.
Yardage-wise, Plummer is the top receiver for the Tigers this year, and this time is Small with a fake. He keeps, and he is knocked down right there in the backfield. I think that's Roach again. Number 56, Troy Roach, coming up for the big stop on Jamal Small.
We said Roach's name a lot here throughout the game. Michael Roach, 5'11" senior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Both teams have active secondary. I mean, we got Brandon Thomas from Texas Southern. Now we see Michael Roach stepping up too in this second half.
Tigers looking at a key third down. Jamal Small back in the pocket, trying to get one down there. Fires to Plummer again. He has the football and the first down for TSU. So that's how you deliver on third down.
You got to love the fact that Jamal Small has listened to his receiver, Plummer, as Plummer was able to make that reception and move those chains for Texas Southern. Just a one-on-one coverage. Plummer got the step on the defensive back. Smalls was able to have a great pitch and catch for the first down.
Jimmy Patipa made a great block on the blitz, coming across the backfield to nail the guy to give Small that extra second. Small on the pitch. Pitches it back to Denson. Tries to get around the left side, but he is knocked down. L.J. Parker leading the charge for the Grambling Tigers, along with number 19, Nicholas Peoples. So Denson getting his chance to carry the football.
It's a running game by committee tonight for Texas Southern. Without their marquee player, Davion Porter, everyone has to contribute and pitch in for this running game. Under 100 yards at halftime is unacceptable. They got to find a way to get this running game going here in this third quarter.
2nd and 8, 3 wide receivers out to the right side. That's where Small is looking, throws underneath, has crossed, slips a tackle, still on his feet. He has another first down before he's finally knocked down right there. Malik Cross making the catch from Jamal Small.
Good job there by Malik Cross to find a way in getting that soft spot of the secondary. But watch this. He's a playmaker, getting away for 2 or 3 defenders, picking up that first down for Texas Southern.
Tigers picking up the pace a little bit. Jamal Small has him back on the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Football's at about the 34-yard line. Tigers' deepest penetration in in a while. Blitz is on. Small back, tries to run it up the middle, scrambles away from one would-be tackler, but he's finally pulled down. I mean, they sent the house that time.
Oh, yeah, they're going to come after you. I mean, they're going to send everyone after Jamal and want to make sure that he's understand the blitz packages and what he's seeing, and they want to kind of confuse him defensively as well. So they're going to come after him. They're not going to stop with this lead now 28-7. You expect the defensive coordinator from Grambling State to continue to keep his foot on that pedal and come after these quarterbacks.
Philip McLean for the Tigers in to make the stop and knock down the big quarterback. So now it's going to be second down and about 15 for the TSU Tigers. Small rolling to his left, stops, under pressure, fires for the end zone, and nobody's out there. Plummer actually went left when Small thought he was going to go right. But it's been all fairness, he didn't have a lot of time to think about it. He had to unload that football, and we have an injured Grambling Tiger on the field. It's number 36, Derwin Butler. He's a linebacker. And you can see Butler trying to get up to his knee right there, but he seems like he's in a lot of pain. And you can check out Small. He's under pressure right there. Tries to get it out, and he was just unloading at that point.
Yeah, he was just trying to get it out of his hands as quick as possible as the pressure continued to come each and every play from Grambling State. I mean, Jamal Smalls is the difference between him and Homer Kazi. Kazi has the ability to get away from defenders and escape pressure. Jamal can't do that from a standpoint, but he's too big at 6'3". It's hard for him to move laterally to get away from the defenders like Homer Kazi. And, you know, what he wants to do is get the ball out of his hands.
And Derwin Butler jogs off on his own power, so maybe he was just a little shaken up. And that was an intentional grounding call on Jamal Small. That's a tough call because he was very close to being out of that little pocket area there. I guess they say that he wasn't, and that's why they made the call.
It's tough because they've been getting hit a lot with that, and it looks like Texas Southern has a new quarterback
Jay
now.
Kristoff is in the game. He's coming in, and this is going to be a tough down to be on the field.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to throw me in, Coach, don't throw me in on third and whatever.
Third down, Kristoff back to pass, under pressure, fires a pass to Larry Clark, who makes a great leaping catch. Clark has had himself a fantastic night.
And it's not just because he's, you know, making receptions. It's how he's making those receptions for Texas Southern. He's catching the ball at the highest point. You see on this play here, he's leaping. I mean, his vertical jump has to be high because, Butch, he's getting up high for these receptions.
Big down now. Fourth down for the TSU Tigers. They need 8 yards for a first down. Kristoff in at quarterback. Back to pass. Fires from the pocket. Has a man. And it is Cross with the first and goal with the reception on the 6. Malik Cross in there to make the catch. Mike Roach on the stop.
Again, Mike Roach is very active for Grambling State. But Malik Cross crossed the field for Texas Southern. Get him right there on the 5-yard line. Good job.
Jay Kristoff with a strike. This guy is so impressive. He comes off the bench and starts throwing darts in there. Jimmy Patipa on the handoff as he spins inside. He picks up a couple down to about the 5.
And you have to give credit to Coach Asbury. As a former quarterback, you know how to keep your guys motivated and ready for any any situation. And for him to go through his third-string quarterback here in this third quarter, and him to be ready to get in the game speaks volumes, not from the player standpoint, but also for the coaches.
It's a very good point because you got to be alert. You never know when you're going to go into the ball game, and here he is, like you said, third-string quarterback, and he's in the game inside the 10 at the goal line. Kristoff looking to pass, a little touch on the ball for Larry Clark, and it's a little too deep. It's incomplete in the back of the end zone. So he's looking for the right guy.
Oh, no doubt about that. He's looking for the right guy. Larry Clark, the third. I mean, if he had a chance to separate from that defender, that could have been an easy touchdown for Texas Southern.
Tigers have had several third downs on this drive, and now with 5 seconds to go in the third quarter, they're going to have another third down. Jay Kristoff calling out the signals. He's going to have the 3 wide receivers over to the left. Jimmy Patipa in the backfield. Kristoff with it, looking over to his left. Now he pulls it down. Now he's rolling left. He's hit and dropped in the backfield. A big tackle right there by number 59, Aaron Breed. coming in with a huge play for the Grambling Tigers.
The senior out of Houston, Texas, Aaron Breed, finishes off the third quarter just like Grambling started it, fast and furious for the sack against the Texas Southern Tigers.
Tigers from Grambling come up with the sack. They lead it 28-7 over Texas Southern.
Hello, I'm Alan Helfman, Vice President of River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. This is my friend and customer, Miss Georgia Provost. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Chrysler 300. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ellen is the only car dealer I will ever buy a car from.
Come see us at Kirby and the Southwest Freeway.
Watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. They can't hear you, Ramsey. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. And he always brings Bud Light. Little dog won't come out from under the couch, but we're winning. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
You are watching Texas Southern football, and right now the Tigers from TSU are trailing the Grambling Tigers 28-7, but they are threatening at this point. They're coming back to the line with a key fourth down play.
Well, entering the fourth quarter for Texas Southern, I mean, whatever game plan that you came out with in the second half, you better execute it here in this fourth quarter. Been down at home by 21 points. There's no room for error. You got to come out and you got to execute your plays and get some points as well.
Kristoff calling the signals, back to pass, looking around, makes a pass into the end zone, and it is incomplete. He was trying to get the football over to Larry Clark, but it is knocked down right there by Rudolph Giovanni.
Giovanni was able to stay with the receiver, was able to, you see in this replay here, Giovanni, great coverage there. As Kristoff tried to go to the receiver, give credit to Giovanni, gets up at the highest point, knocked the ball down for Grambling State defense.
He might have been just a tad late with that ball. It looked like there was a little space, and then you saw the close.
Yeah,
great job by Giovanni closing.
That closing speed was outstanding. But the one thing I like, especially coming from the defensive backs, you want to see them go up just like the receivers goes up. You want to go up at the highest point and knock that ball down, become a receiver yourself, but in a sense from a defensive standpoint, knock that ball down and help out your defense.
Grambling with the football, and the give is inside right there to number 24. That's Jawan Martin, and he spins for a gain of about 4.
On the flip side, Butch, you got Grambling State now up 21 points. They coming in this game on a 5-game winning streak. You want to leave this game with little to minor injuries offensively. Try to be very conservative running the ball, and continue to move those chains, which in return will move that clock and get out of here with a victory.
Williams to Martin again, and again he pushes that surge forward and picks up a couple of yards, but that brings up third down. So they have third and about 4 yards to go for the first down. Williams on the option, pitches it back right there, and there's a little crease from Martin, and he picks up the first down.
Smart play call there by the offensive coordinator for Grambling State, going with the speed option to the backside. You catch Texas Southern in the man coverage. You see here, no defenders in sight for the first 5 yards. Excellent running play there to pick up the first down, but you got to keep the chains and the clock moving too.
Darvion Trahan made the stop, and here we go. Grambling Tigers on the keeper is Williams. He sprints to the right side, and he's out of bounds after a gain of about 7. So now he's doing a good job of mixing that pass and that run. I mean, we talked about his quickness all week, and that would be one of the things they would have to slow down. And we saw an example of it there, how quickly he can get outside.
Yeah, he's not a very big quarterback like Jamal Smalls at 6'3". However, he maximized his ability by his speed and his balance and able to get to the outside and put pressure on Texas Southern defense.
Tigers go inside, the Grambling Tigers that is, and they run it with Mr. Martin again. Jawan Martin bangs it in. Zacchaeus Bamijoko is there on the stop. Zacchaeus getting to see some action tonight. Fine play by him. And now this is not going to be first down. That got the first down, so it was 1st and 10 from there for the Grambling Tigers. Williams with the ball, turns and hands it again to Martin, and he spins it inside. And I think the Grambling Tigers has found something right there. They got back to that running game again, and right now they're sticking with Martin because he's just churning out the yards.
Well, it was disappointing to see both teams not running the ball effectively at halftime. And I said whoever comes out and establishes the running game here in the second half early will control the game and control the clock, and you got to give credit to Grambling State. They're doing exactly what we talked about during the halftime hit.
Williams in the pocket, and he is swarmed under. I think Gamble was the first man to get there and record the sack. That time they went with a couple of tight ends, and he still tried to throw the ball. It looked like it was a power formation, but he tried to throw the football. And we have another Tiger who's down on the play. Could be Caleb Jenkins that they're helping off. He was shaken up a little bit last week, but he seems like he's all right. He's jogging off now. Good pressure that time, though.
Yeah,
but they to get that pressure in the backfield.
But still some fight in Texas Southern now. They're not laying down and saying just, take this victory, this road victory from Grambling State. They're still fighting here. I'm impressed to see these guys still coming after the quarterback.
Williams with 4 wide receivers in the game, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. In the pocket, fires over the middle. He has a man. That is Verlon Hunter, and he has the first down for the Grambling Tigers.
Hunter able to come across the middle. No secondary help there by Texas Southern. Was able to get the reception and pick up the first down and continue to move down the field for Grambling State offense.
Darvion Trahan knocked him down right there.
For TSU, that's disappointing to see that no safety help was in the middle, knowing that Grambling State is trying to pick up the first down. You got to have some kind of help from the safeties in the middle to help these corners in the slot position.
Williams back to pass, but he fakes it, and now he has his man. That is Domino over there near the sidelines, and he is very close to another first down.
You got to like what you see out of Jonathan Williams. This young man is taking over the control of this offense after the Prairie View victory in Dallas. And tonight, he has stepped up and showing a lot of confidence, rolling out to his left and his right, completing the ball and making these type of completions
it's
on the road.
It's going back to what you were saying, though. He's running the football, and when you run the football with success, it opens up the pass, and you're exactly right. That's what they're doing. They're having success running it, and now they can pass it.
It's called balance. Anytime a team that has great balance, it makes it, as a former defensive player, it makes it very hard for any defense to scheme against that because you don't know what they're going to hit you with. Either they're going to run the ball down your throat or they're going to pass the ball.
Martin picked up 8 yards there, 2nd and 2. Williams with the fake, and then he is almost caught, but he gets away. He spun away. Williams still on his feet, down inside the 10, knocked down at the 4. I thought he was sacked, but he's still on his feet. That young man is something special. I mean, you saw some of that quickness right there.
Phenomenal play there by Jonathan Williams. Was able to get away from 2 defenders, but watch this. Bounce back to the outside and smart enough to get down, not to take a big shot. This young man is unbelievable. Be able to take over on an offense probably in week 2 or 3 against Prairie View and Dallas. Now he has full control of this offense coming off the bench, and he controls the huddle as well as the locker room. Everybody's buying into Jonathan Williams.
Williams hands it inside. It's number 24 again. That's Martin banging his way down closer to the goal line, Jawan Martin. Jonathan Williams is actually closing in on 100 yards rushing. Dondre Dobbins coming in to make the stop for the TSU Tigers. And we have a flag down on the field. The whistles blow to stop it. You know, we didn't see too many flags in the third quarter as compared to the first half.
Oh. We had quite a bit of flags in the first half.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men on the field. Half the distance to the goal. Remain second down.
Half the distance is going to push the Grambling Tigers a little closer to that end zone. TSU with too many men on the field.
Receivers wide open.
Williams, low snap, but he got it, and he dives for the end zone, and let's see. Don't think he made it. We got cheerleaders dancing in the back of the end zone, and now we have a flag.
We got all kinds of confusion going on right now.
Let's get the call here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Number 52. 15 yards from the end of the play. Third down.
That's a penalty that hurts because they would have been inches away from a touchdown. You have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and now you're going to be pushed all the way back, it looks like, near the 15, 16-yard line.
And actually, that's probably the first bad play there by Grambling State here in the second half. I mean, they've been very explosive offensively.
Tigers have a timeout down on the field. And as you can see, the cheerleader in the background, that's what I was talking about there. Yeah. He's coming, and I think he lost track of where he needed to go. But the official saw him. He said, hey, buddy, you know, you're doing some nice flips. That's very impressive, but you need to stay off the field.
Yeah, keep that athleticism on this side of the field. Don't bring that into the end zone.
So the Tigers using a timeout here to kind of regroup themselves on defense and see if they can't come up with a big stop. Still got 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And if you're Texas Southern, I mean, if everything stands the way it's, I mean, with the score right now, and you lose this game, you got to find a way to kind of build off this game going into Southern next week. I mean, Grambling State is a team that has a high-powered offense. Southern is another team that we saw the halftime hit where they was able to come back into that game. That means they have an offense that can put up points too and come back. So Texas Southern got to find some kind of positive in this game if they lose this game.
They will. They will have to. You're right. And this is Williams back to pass again. Fires a strike in the corner, and that's very close. He has his man, and that is number 10, Chad Williams. And let's see where they rule him. They rule him out like at about the 1. What a pass. That was a frozen rope over there. Good pattern, and he made the catch and then stepped out.
The Williams and Williams connection as Jonathan Williams finds his receiver, Chad Williams. Tight rope pass there from Jonathan Williams to Chad Williams. Excellent pitch and catch to get to the 1-yard line.
And here's the hand of Martin, and the TSU defense has come up with a goal line stand because Martin is knocked down short. You know, there's no instant replay in the SWAC, and if we did have instant replay, it might have been close to a touchdown on that pass because he was right on the pylon. But here's a big defensive play here. There's the stop. That is LaKendrick Connolly, who got hurt in the first half, who is back in the second half. Made a fine play on that goal line stand.
Yeah, the senior Connolly is still fighting and pushing for Texas Southern, as you can see that on that last play.
So the Tigers defense come up with a big goal line stand, but on the scoreboard, TSU has some work to do. They trail Grambling 28-7.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
And we are back with Texas Southern taking on the Grambling Tigers. Right now, Texas Southern starting 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line after a huge goal line stand where they kept the Grambling Tigers out of the end zone.
Do not want to get a safety here on this first down.
Small hands it off inside. It goes to Patipa, and he picks up a couple of yards inside. So they're pushing the ball a little bit away from that goal line. Great defense, though. Goal line stand, like you were talking before, like how there's no quit in this team. They had their opportunities to roll over, and they said, no, sir.
No, not at all.
They came up with the big stop, even after they got the big gain the play before, to take it back to the 1. Here's Jamal Small now. He's back in at quarterback, calling out his signals. Back to pass. Fires a strike to his left, and Fred Plummer with the football. And he scrambles forward he's almost picked up that first down. He's very close.
Yeah, Smalls go right back to his favorite target here in the second half. That's Fred Plummer. The third was able to get the reception. Young man got up real quick.
He got down quick, too.
Yeah, he realized, okay, I'm trying to get away. Then he realized, hey, someone's coming right for me. Let me get right back down.
Fred had the first down. He said, that's enough. Jamal Small now back at quarterback, hands it. He has Denson who bangs it in on the left side, and he picks up a couple of yards. He's stopped, knocked down by Philip McLean, who's played a fine game tonight for the Grambling Tigers. We've called out his name several times.
Yes, you got to if they're giving out a defensive MVP, you got to give it to the whole unit for Grambling State. Everyone has contributed to the nice lead, and hopefully after 8 minutes we'll get that road victory and their 6th straight win too. So their defense has been phenomenal here tonight.
You know, they don't have the real big defense, but they swarm all over the field.
They play as a unit, and that goes back to coaching. That goes back – every guy's been on the same page defensively. That's a great job there for the Grambling State Tigers.
Small back to pass. The pocket comes apart, and he has to scramble up the middle for a short gain right there. But, yeah, that's one of the – they're not the biggest defense you will see, but they force a lot of turnovers. And tonight – they took advantage of some of those turnovers with their offense.
And it started early in the first quarter. I mean, that one huge sack from the back on Homer Kazi that forced that fumble, which helped Jonathan Williams establish his offensive presence going to the receiver for that touchdown. So offensively, they put up 28 points, but their defense set the tone early in that first quarter.
Third down for TSU. 2 wide receivers on the left, 2 to the right. The pass over the middle, and it's for Larry Clark, and the officials say incomplete. He had his man. He was close enough. It would have been good enough for the first down, but he did not make the catch. So the TSU Tigers will have to punt it back to Grambling.
Can't give up a block punt here for TSU. You want to be solid on special teams.
And the kick away by Corey Carter is spinning around, and it's bouncing, and he got a pretty good bounce on there because the kick was not that good off of his foot, but it worked out pretty good there. I bet you thought I'd forgotten about this.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean,
but now it's time to check back with our A-Rocket Movers. Do you know TSU? What are the names of TSU's mascots? Any guesses? You want to take a shot at it, Lamont?
I think I know one of them. I think one of them name is Rex. I can't think of the other guys.
There you go. You got half of it.
Yeah.
Tex and Rex the Tiger. Can't beat that.
Yeah, I mean, TSU has 2 outstanding mascots. I mean, they bring a lot of energy each and every game. When I was doing some of the basketball games for Texas Southern, you can see the passion in those 2 mascots each and every home game, and they do an excellent job. I like those, Tex and Rex.
Tex and Rex, the Tigers, like the Saints. It's the same thing. Darian Claiborne on the tackle for the TSU Tigers. Second down for Grambling. They have a new quarterback in the game. We'll set him in just a minute. New running back, number 28, Justin Kelly on the carry. The quarterback is Steven Johnson, number 13, Darian Claiborne, making that stop again.
Yeah, that kind of caps off an outstanding performance here tonight for Jonathan Williams, bringing in the quarterback Johnson. Again, Williams, his leadership is unbelievable. For him to come in Houston on a night like this and produce touchdowns after touchdowns and put up 28 points for Grambling State, head coach has to like what he saw out of his starting quarterback.
Steven Johnson got in the game and completed his first pass. So the young man coming off the bench, nice shot, Steven Johnson. He's a redshirt freshman from California.
Yeah, it's contagious. I mean, success rubs off on the other quarterback after watching Jonathan Williams put up some huge numbers throughout the game. You see Johnson want to come in now and then reestablish himself or establish himself here in the second half against Texas Southern.
Handoff inside, and he is knocked down by Gamble. Big shot by Gamble. He got off the block quickly and made the hit on Justin Kelly. Gamble's played a fine game tonight. I mean, he's been all over that field defensively.
Amir Bloom also played aggressively and got out to a good start for Texas Southern up front, too, for their defensive line. I thought their secondary, for the most part, did better than what they did last week, but they gave up some huge plays. But, you know, if you're Brandon Thomas, one of the safeties back there for Texas Southern.
Ball is out. It's loose. Johnson picks it up. He went to make the handoff, and he missed the handoff, and the ball was loose in the backfield, but the young man, the redshirt freshman, got on it very quickly.
We have another flag on Texas Southern, it looks like. But the young man, Johnson, finds a way to pick up the ball and make something out of nothing. You can see a flag comes in late against Texas Southern. Looks like it's another personal foul.
Darian Claiborne was on the stop again, and it's good to see him back because he was out for several games with that knee injury. So it's good to see him getting in the action tonight.
Personal foul on the defense, number 8. Late hit, that is his second unsportsmanlike personal foul. He's out the game.
Wow.
Wow. Well, the official thought he did too good a job because Darian Claiborne is hit with the late hit, and now he's also been ejected, I think. Let's see. I think he said he was out of the game.
Yeah, it sounded like he did say he was. That was.
And Darian says, "Who me? No," but I think that's going to be the call. So the Tigers will have to make a substitution here. With 4:40 to go in the fourth quarter, 28-7 Grambling leading Texas Southern.
And you asked me, Butch, at halftime, what was the biggest surprise? And I said it was the penalties. The fact that both teams in the first half play undisciplined football. And for Texas Southern, that still continues on throughout the second half. In order for this to stop, in my opinion, as far as undisciplined and these penalties, you got to penalize the guys. You got to find a way to save. You got to find a way to implement a system from an internal standpoint, from coaching staff, and let these guys know we're not tolerating this type of plays going forward, because it kills our momentum and it kills the football program.
Yeah, and it is such a fine line because you want these guys to be very aggressive. You want them to come up there, but you can't go over that line because it hurts the team. So it's going to be first down for the Grambling Tigers now. Ball sitting at about the 36-yard line. Johnson in at quarterback, the redshirt freshman. Fires down the sideline, has a man, and it is knocked away. Oh, no, he got it for the touchdown. Looks like Darvion Trahan was going to at least knock it away, and the ball sails right over his head.
Well, Johnson comes into the game, said if Jonathan Williams can throw a touchdown, I can do the same thing for the offense. Johnson goes deep to the receiver.
Dominique Leak.
Dominique Leak for his touchdown reception and the celebration dance in the back of the end zone.
That was a pretty good-looking pass, but when you look at it, Trahan was in good position. He just did not make the play on the football.
That pretty much seals the deal for for Grambling State here tonight. You can comfortably, we can easily say now that Grambling State will get their 6th win in a row.
Yes, and that's going to go a long way to helping them, clinch this West championship. Tigers wanted to stay in the hunt there, and a big win tonight would have kept them in there, but now it looks like the Grambling Tigers are going to take this one. And another quick reminder while we have the chance, you can catch every home game live via our web stream at tsuball.com/live. That's tsuball.com, your #1 source for Tiger football. Tonight we had a battle of Tigers, and I think you put your finger on it early. It really ended up being whoever took full advantage of these turnovers early.
Yeah, turnovers in the running game. Whoever can minimize the turnovers in the second half, but establish some kind of positive running game, will control the clock and can control the momentum and steal this victory. Grambling State did that right out the chute in the third quarter with Jonathan Williams and that powerful running attack. You know, he was able to, and his offense was able to move down the field and get that touchdown and really put Texas Southern back on their heels early in that third quarter.
Well, you also have to adjust to the penalties. And you
Yeah.
mentioned that earlier also. If you see how they're calling the game, it's like a basketball game. If you see what they're calling, then you adjust to them. You don't let them keep throwing as many flags as they threw in the first half. And that's something that the TSU Tigers are going to have to work on, I'm sure. But that's one of the things you want to do. You adjust your game.
And Grambling State, you got to give them credit. They came out, when I talked about them jarring in the pregame, what they really did, Butch, is that when they came out the locker room and all teams enter and they leave the field in the same tunnel, when they came out on pregame, they ran right through Texas Southern warm-ups. They ran right through their pregame. And it was not just a physical thing. It was also a mental aspect that let Texas Southern know, hey, we're here in your home stadium. We're going to bully you guys around, and we don't care what you do about it. Now, the coaches got upset about it, but it set the tone. It set the tone for Grambling State to let them know that, you know, we're here to play. And even though it's going to be a competitive game, we want any edge that we can get over you guys mentally, because we know that's going to help us on the field with the penalties.
I think it's safe to say, though, that we are looking at the two most improved teams in the SWAC here tonight, you know, bar none, because nobody had envisioned this before the season started.
No, you got to give credit to the two coaches, Coach Asbury, and he does an excellent job. Guy had his guys here this summer, built some continuity, and Grambling State, their program has turned around as well. 6 straight wins. That's a phenomenal job for their coaching staff.
Broderick Fobbs has really done a job over there, and that comes after they lost their first 3 ball games to start the year. So, you know, they really got to go rolling after a little bit.
And Fobbs is an alumni of Grambling State, so you know a lot of the alums are excited about that too. Having a guy, you know, play football there on the legendary coach Eddie Robertson and get this program turned around, 6 straight wins. You got to be happy for him too.
Mark Orozco's extra point is finally good. It took forever to do it, but we have it on the board. And right now, with 4:27 to go, is that Rex
or Tex?
Whoever it is, he's chilling because it's 35-7 Grambling at this point.
Percy Crusoe. If you haven't been to French's Chicken, or if it's been a while since your last visit, no place does chicken like Frenchie's. Our chicken is seasonized with our blend of Creole herbs and spices. Our side dishes include the tastiest greens and red beans and rice you'll ever put in your mouth. Try our new King Roll rotisserie chicken at our Scott Street location. Come on by French's Chicken, where the taste lasts forever.
The environment is my passion. Every day I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
When we send an IBW electrician to your job site, I expect my electrical worker to be neat. I expect him to be professional. I expect him to be on time. I expect him to be productive. I expect him to do everything in his power or her power to ensure that employer is successful. Because what's going to get us more work is successful jobs.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
And welcome back to BBVA Compass Stadium. 4:27 to go, and the Grambling Tigers are leading TSU 35-7 in this one. And we did have a beautiful night for football here, I'll tell you that.
Excellent football weather, kicking off the month of November, my birthday month as we speak.
There you go. Now you need to come up with a couple more TSU wins since for your birthday month here. The kick, and we are a good kick right there, and it goes down into the corner to Christopher. With it on the return. Christopher Lee brings it back for TSU around the left side. A nice return. Rod Stevens on the stop. Let's take a look at that scoring drive, because the Grambling Tigers took it down, and they did it with a couple of reserves in the game. Steven Johnson, the redshirt freshman quarterback, hands it inside for a big game.
Steven Johnson was able to get some breaks there in that offensive drive, but his arm was the key for Grambling State offense, going deep to the receiver for the touchdown.
7 plays, 64 yards. I still don't know how Darvion missed that ball. He had to lose it in the lights because, you know, sometimes you can turn back and it's very easy to lose that football in the lights. So here we go. Tigers with the football now, 4:17 to go. Kristoff scrambles out of the pocket, goes up the middle, turns on the Jets, makes a nice move, and that is a big gain for TSU. Knocked down just short of midfield.
Kristoff, 6'4", 205, sophomore, has some blazing jets too for Texas Southern. Decided to take off early. Was able to get to the second level, pick up the first down for Texas Southern.
Mike Roach knocked him down, a big stop there, but a first down for the TSU Tigers, 1st and 10. Kristoff back to pass again. Breaks it down. He was looking way downfield and decided to throw it underneath, and he has a man. Tracy Johnson comes up with a big catch.
Kristoff is getting some much-needed game reps here. The third-string quarterback was able to come in and kind of find a way to get this offense going for Texas Southern. This young man is only a sophomore. Look for him in the near future for Texas Southern.
He plays with a lot of confidence, and you can't overstate that. He comes in the ball game. The game is not bigger than he is, and he comes in and starts chunking it right away. Kristoff fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Larry Clark, and he took a shot right there. A big shot he took right there from Jameel Jackson.
Yeah, he did take a shot there. If you're the quarterback, Kristoff, you can't really lead your receiver across the middle like that. It kind of, I mean, you have receivers that are going to go for the ball no matter where you throw it at, but he took a big shot. It's good to see that he got up and got back up on the line of scrimmage after that play.
You have to protect your friends, and you don't want to throw it in there. Kristoff, 3rd down and 3 yards to go, back to pass. Scans the field, fires over the middle, has a man, and guess who? That is Larry Clark III again. He's under over 100 yards today receiving. Great shot. Rudolph Giovanni came away with the stop.
Another outstanding catch there by Larry Clark III, going up. I think all his catches have been up in the air, Butch, all night long. Up in the air, catching the ball at the highest point, but he has enough control and balance and concentration to come down with the catch and the reception for Texas Southern.
He has a highlight reel tonight.
Oh, no question.
Kristoff with 3 wide receivers to his left. Back to pass, comes up in the pocket, pulls it down. He's going to keep it, and he's finally yanked down around the 7-yard line.
Well, we're looking at the future Texas Southern quarterback right here, Kristoff, the sophomore out of Louisiana. He's still fighting for Texas Southern here late in the 4th quarter. If he can produce a touchdown or get some kind of points off that, Coach Ashbury has to be happy with the young man.
Well, you don't stop playing, and Coach was talking about this team, how he didn't expect them to roll over after that heartbreaking loss last week. He expected them to come out and play hard, and they have tonight. They have tonight. Some of the breaks didn't go their way, but they played extremely hard. Here's Kristoff now with a 1st and goal to go from the 7. Looking to pass again, throws it inside, and it's picked off right there. And that's that Roach fella again, Mike Roach. He saw Larry Clark over there. He knew the slant was coming. He jumped on it.
You can't kill the Roach. Mike Roach with the interception there for Grambling State, stopping the momentum of Texas Southern Tigers.
Tigers on their way in, but something funny, a Roach actually stopped them. We will be back after this timeout.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew it.
It's true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg. I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
You are watching Texas Southern football. I'm Butch Alcindor along with Lemont Williams, and starting to get a little chilly in the booth. Grambling Tigers just came up with a big turnover. They will take over 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. Steven Johnson, the redshirt freshman, still in the game. Gives it inside and has no room to go there. I mean, he is stacked up big time. That is number 23, who is Cedric Skinner. Getting some action now in the backfield. He's caught a couple of passes tonight, so.
Yeah, he came in early in the 3rd quarter to kind of bring an added spark, and he was some fresh legs, and he was much needed for that offense for Grambling State.
You were mentioning earlier of how the TSU Tigers have to get something positive out of this game, and I think they will be able to. When they go back and look at the film, there were times when they were doing a lot of good things down there on the football field, and there was either a penalty here or a turnover there that kind of killed the drive.
And also what you have to do from a coaching standpoint, you got to acknowledge your flaws. You got to acknowledge your wrongdoings. And first and foremost, if I'm Coach Asbury, you got to take ownership of the penalties. You got to take ownership of some of the undisciplined plays. You address those things early on. You say we're going to make those corrections, and you put it behind you. Then you focus on the positive. Focus on some of the things that you saw throughout the game. Homer Kazi was able to be productive throwing the ball. You saw Jamal Small come in the game, be productive. And the young man in Kristoff, the quarterback, sophomore, he was able to bring in some added energy for this offense. Now defensively, continue to still bring pressure up front with the front 7, and the secondary needs to kind of find ways to stop teams from going down the field with big plays in the secondary.
Skinner taking the handoff again for a big gain, and he picks up the 1st down, so that will move the change for the Grambling Tigers. We're down to 1:21 to go in the game.
Yeah, and if you're Grambling right here now, after you picking up that 1st down, the most important thing is you want to continue to run this clock down and just take your time. Don't be in a hurry, because no need to be in a hurry with 35-7, but you want to take your time and end this game here on a positive and a professional note.
Well, this was a big win for Grambling, because they come in here and they do it on Texas Southern's home turf, and that's always tough to do. This is a traditional rivalry. It's one that goes way back, and there's Johnson faking inside, keeping, and he tries to slide, but didn't quite make it. He was touchdown there. Jarius Moore on the stop. But when you look at this Grambling team, they're not very big. They have a little speed. They swarm on defense. They just do a lot of things really well.
Yeah, they play as a unit, and you don't see that quite often as much on this level, 1AA football, where you see both teams like Grambling State. They have a lot of continuity offensively and defensively, and that plays a lot into their 6-game winning streak and their success. Guys buying into the system. There's no I in team. There's no I players. Everybody's on the same page, and that's why they're so successful here in this 2014 season.
So the Grambling Tigers are going to go to 6-0 in the Western Conference in the West. It's going to put them atop the standings there, so they are in really good shape. TSU now will focus in on Southern University.
Good job there for Grambling State to come in and be aggressive and find a way to steal this game from Texas Southern. You see that, and that's another positive I like to see. Coaches embracing themselves, even after a misunderstanding in the first half. Pregame, they understand this game is bigger than them, and they understand this conference has a lot of rich history as well. For them to embrace themselves after the game speaks volumes.
The Battle of Tigers tonight go to the Grambling Tigers. They knocked off Texas Southern. Your final score from BBVA Compass Stadium, Grambling 35 and Texas Southern 7.